Yeah, I'm on. Right, we're live. And right, hello everybody. Welcome to Mark's Remarks live stream. And I'm just going to try and get a drink going. Okay, I'm going to use my. I'm going to put the pot noodle tub aside for a few moments, for a while. Oh, I just had a hot dog. So. Got this free with a pack of cider that I was gifted. I'm going to be drinking the vodka tonight. I was thinking of going for some lager. I got some kind of foreign brand lager. The Co-op were doing two pizzas and 4 bottles of lager for $5. So I've got that. Got a couple of bottles still in the fridge, and then I got some Budweiser. There you go. That should do it, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I was thinking about that, but at the very last minute, get back to the old favourite. I haven't got too much lemonade, only half a bottle. Okay, we got there Mystic Genie. Hello, Mr. I'm young, so I may be getting a. Yeah, Mystic Genie. No, I haven't had the jab yet. I've had the flu jab. I haven't had the Chinese plague jab yet. I've had a couple of texts from the local, what do they call that? Health centre. But I haven't gone to get it. I suppose I should, I wasn't going to go get one, but, people have been telling me I should, So, yeah, maybe soon. Have you taken the... Oh, no, already. No, I haven't taken the jab yet. Wasn't really in a big hurry to get it, actually, but I'm thinking I possibly will. The Skywog. I'm not sure what that means. Skywog. Hello to you. Ed, hello. Andy Smith, hello to you. And oh Jesus, yeah, this one I'm always have FMC Repair Amar. I think I got the jab and naturally couldn't move to. It says you got the jab, the plague jab, and couldn't move for a couple of days. Yeah, that's a thing, I mean, you never know. Well, that's because I was thinking, as somebody who doesn't trust the government, I was thinking, what would wondering what's in the jab, Could it be that you'll end up, having some side effects down the road, I don't know. Remarkable's in the house. War Ready. Oh, War Ready doesn't trust the vaccine. Yeah. Because the thing is, I mean, I actually, it's funny, I had a bit of a heated discussion with somebody the other day. It wasn't a complete stranger, it's somebody I knew, but they were convinced that I was full of shit because I don't trust the government, and I'm not fully convinced that the Chinese plague is as bad as the news make out. I'm not saying it's not good, I mean, I'm not saying it's not bad, but I'm saying it's not as bad as, when you start hearing reports, like I say, in America, it's happened at the very beginning. And I got no reason to think that England is any better, that if somebody dies on a motorcycle crash and he happens to have COVID death, shoots himself in the fucking head with a pistol, COVID, happens to have COVID death, falls out the window, happens to have COVID death. So of course, when you start calculating it like that, of course the fucking numbers are going to go through the roof. And of course, I'm full of shit for acknowledging these sort of things that are going around the internet, because of course he knows somebody who's died. Like, I don't want to fucking hear that stuff. So I was telling him, look, I'm not interested in your bloody friends that are dead. I've got enough problems. But the fact of the matter is, I don't believe it's as bad as it is made out to be. Because the thing is, I mean, there is so many benefits for making this thing stretch out longer than it should be. I mean, because according to the numbers, there are plenty of other deaths. People dying of heart failure, people dying of liver disease, people dying of all kinds of viruses, and when you take into the this particular plague, the Chinese plague, I'm going to refer to as the it's actually quite low on the causes of death. There are people. It's like when I've mentioned this before. When you've war, misery and death. Okay, whether it's war, whether it's a plague, whether it's anything, there is money to be made. Okay, when you think about it, the whole world is getting contaminate. What's the word? That the whole world is afflicted with the plague virus, right? The Chinese plague virus known as Corona. Everybody's panicking, and all of a sudden, somebody jumps up and says, "I have the cure." At the moment, admittedly, they're giving it away for free. For the most part, I don't think there's any countries that are actually charging for it. Although there are ways of making money out of it. I mean, you look at how scared people are when it comes to face masks. Cleaning products. There's money to be made there, just like in war. You got war, you got bullets, you got bombs, you got jeeps, you got boots, you got food, you got jackets, you got stationery. Everybody's making money, and this plague is no different. People are making money when people are scared. That's when people start making money. And also, about the only thing that this person and I agreed was that people like Coca-Cola and Amazon are basically ruling the planet. Okay, Coca-Cola aside, they're one of the there isn't a country on the planet that have a Coca-Cola poster up there somewhere. But when you got people like Amazon, okay, and others like them, the banks, excuse me, it's in obviously it's in their interest for this plague to go for generations, for decades. They would be loving it. Okay, and the reason is, when you've got 90% of the shops shutting down and they're the only game in town, all right, if you want anything from notepads to lawnmowers, right, you've got to go through Amazon because they're the only shop open. Fucking loving it, mate. The longer it goes on, the better. And that's about the only thing we agreed on in this heated discussion that we were having. So, and also, yeah, I mean, the thing is, like you're everywhere, when you've got the population scared, they're easier to control. I mean, one of the things we disagreed again with this friend of mine was we were out in the car park. We're sitting in the car waiting for somebody to bring us our chips. And I said to him, I've just got in the fucking co-op there, and this big stupid fairy, is coming out. Whatever, you must have it. All right, I get it all the time, and I fucking hate it. You're walking into a shop, and there's a guy walking out of the shop, and he's like, "Oh, no, let me stand back as far. No, you come in. Just go past the guy. Everybody's wearing masks. Unless I'm forced to, I tend not to wear the mask. Well, I say forced to. I mean, unless it's policy, if it's up to my own devices, no, I won't. But so the two of us are wearing a mask. We want to go. I'm going in. He's coming out, but no, he's like, no, please, giving me like as much room as he can for me to walk in the door. And I say, just go through. What are you waiting for? An invitation? Just go. And I said this to him in the car. And apparently I'm the arsehole because, I don't understand that people are scared and people react this way because they're scared of the death virus and all this lot. But I was trying to explain, you don't need to put your life on hold just because there's one of 1,000. I mean, how many viruses do we come up with, do we have to deal with on a daily basis? Okay. You got everything from there are certain things that over the last few years I've done to protect myself. Okay. I don't shake hands with people anymore, especially after the filthy bastards you meet in warehouses, right? It's diabolical, right? I tend to, of course I wash my hands, but basically you're coming out of the, before bathroom trips. If I go out to the city centre, I'm using a bus, I'm gone to a few shops, I've come back, I come home. First thing I do is wash my hands. So of course I use regular hand washing, but now I'm more conscious of it. You do that. You don't shake hands with people. You kind of keep your distance when you're having a conversation. Great, but you should be doing that normally anyway. You got people coughing and sneezing and choking all over the bloody place. It stands to reason. It's only now that companies actually give a shit. Anybody working in a warehouse will know it's only the last year that we've gone in and had hand sanitizer. You've even got fucking guys standing there to make sure that you use the hand sanitizer when you come into work and when you come out of work, when you go to lunch, when you come back from lunch. You've got to be, there's a guy making sure you're doing it. There's a guy in the canteen, but his job for that half an hour or an hour is to sit there and make sure that everybody's standing in the queue for lunch 6 feet apart. Why is it they weren't doing this for fucking decades before now? And of course, when you consider the amount of sick days that every country loses, all right, half of them is because they've caught some virus off some poor, some dirty bastard, right? Some guy's come into work with a cold or a flu or a cough, and he's passed it on to 12 other guys. Next week, they've got the 3-4 days off. Going in the bogs, not washing your hands at all sometimes, going around handling machinery and barcode guns and whatever the hell else. Not washing your hands before you go to lunch. This is rampant stuff, but they never give a shit before. It's only because they're, because they don't give a crap about your, they're not here for your benefit. And if they wanted to, they could have employed these things. Right? If everybody stands 6 feet apart in the canteen queue, we're going to stop people passing on colds and viruses and all the rest of it, even way before the Chinese business. And that'll cut down on sick days, and that's more productive for the company, because the less people are sick, more production. Have people, have hand washes coming in and out of work on the way to the canteen. If that had been done years and years and years and years and years ago, it would, everybody would be happy. But no, it's only now that they're being forced to. Now they're sort of doing it for your benefit. They don't give a shit about your benefit before now. So why, And of course, you argue about it. Well, COVID, what are you going to do? It's company policy. No, they don't care before. They're only doing it now because they're forced to. They don't care. Actually, that's about a pretty good vodka and what would you call this? It's vodka and lemonade. I had you saw how much lemonade vodka I had in there. You got vodka and orange, all right, screwdriver. Is there a name for a vodka and Coke, vodka and lemonade, vodka and Red Bull? Is there names for any of that? I used to be a barman, but we never had names for any of this stuff. And why vodka and orange? Why is that called a screwdriver? And as far as I know, there's no other names for vodka or any other mixer. Anyway. Yeah, Lee Merton. Hello there. Actually, I was thinking about using your cup. Your cup's in the fridge, full of water, getting cold. So I had to make do with this glass. What's the sort? My favorite, French fries. I can't get these in the local shops. The co-op or the what used to be known as a packy shop, the corner shop. You can't get them. Was a bit of a bastard. I had to go. What did I go for those? Oh, the Poundland. I had to go for those. That reminds me. I've got a few topics I want to. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I've mentioned it before because of because people have donated. Last time last time I did a little thing where I let everybody know what I was doing was when I was buying some stuff for the homeless shelter. Right, it was up the city centre. There's a big double-decker bus, and remember at the time I was going to put in a bunch of money to buy, soaps, shampoo, toothpaste, brushes, shower gel, all that stuff. And then a whole bunch of people started donating for that, so I could basically so I could double it up. The idea was to take it to the homeless shelter, which was a big double-decker bus parked in a car park, and people go in, and there's a few sheds there that people hang out. And as you know, because normally I wouldn't have made a big thing of it, but because people were donating, then actually, is the sound all right? I've got this little thing covering the sound hole. If ever you can hear me, let me know. I went in. I said, look. The thing is, I got the camcorder, I got a channel. Can I make a 5-minute, 10-minute video just chatting to anybody who wants about what is it you do, how you do it, how can we donate, and all that lot, Nobody has to be in it that doesn't want to. I'll just be there for 10 minutes or so. And of course, they put the kibosh on that. They wouldn't have that. So I ended up giving all that stuff over to there's a charity box outside, inside Tesco stores. They give to some other charity. So I ended up giving it all to them. And I'm not, so I was a bit reluctant, after that. I like to do what I can for. Peter B, hello to you. He's a moderator. Moderator, so he's going to be keeping law and order, I'm sure. Okay, yeah, because your name is the only one that comes up in blue with a spanner sign. I don't know if you can see that on your side, but everybody's name and comments are in white except for yours, which is in blue. So I was kind of reluctant, so I went out I went over to phone calls, traveling over to different places, trying to give away this shit. And they wouldn't let me do a video to try and. I only did it for your benefit because it's where your money went. But so I think, fuck them, it's like trying to do, So now there's actually a homeless shelter. They've taken over this building, right? There was a building there before. I don't know what was in it. They built they spent the last few months. They've built these little cabins in there. 9 individual cabins. They got the main building, which has got some bogs and some, I guess, some showers in there. They got a kitchen. I went in there today. Actually, they got a fucking nice kitchen. It's bigger than mine, and a whole lot cleaner than mine, if I'm honest. But anyway, but over the last few weeks, I've been going in there. I've been taking in some, shower gel, toothbrushes, paste, shaving equipment, and stuff. Some shirts. So the reason why I mention it was. Because if there's a few people here. I'm going to move this cursor. There's a few regular viewers I know in Milton Keynes. So I thought, well, what I'll do, I'll just mention it. I mentioned what I've done, what they're looking for. I took in a load of sauces. Because I don't know if you've. Because if you eat bland food a lot, it can get a bit rough. So they're in need of sauces, ketchups, and curry powders and stuff. But yeah, the reason why I mentioned it was because if anybody's interested, okay, the name it's on Stantonbury. It's here in Milton Keynes. The road is Crosslands. Cross lands. That's one word. Crosslands. On Stantonbury in Milton Keynes. So if anybody wants to chip in, if anybody's interested, I'll try and get the postal address. So, but it's Crosslands is the name of the road in Stantonbury. Stantonbury being the housing estate. If anybody's interested, I'll see what I can do about getting a postal address, but I just thought I'd mention it out there because I know that I've seen a few other people donating stuff, because what I used to do, and I'm going to sneeze in a minute, what I used to do was take my, my clothes. I used to buy my clothing. I bought this from the charity shop, actually, along with all my other club shirts. I used to take in, yeah, if I've outgrown some stuff, I just take it down to the charity shop, mainly the one that I bought them from. But they've been shut for ages, and I figured, well, you go into the charity shop, you take in your stuff. What they do, they sell it, because basically, we've talked about this before. You go in, they sell the stuff, and most, the money goes to a charity. In this case, it's Bernardo's. They give it to some, you got them, you got the what used to be the Spastic Society. They call it Mind, I think they call it now. Or one of them, they changed the name. But anyway, you've got to help the dogs, help the blind, help the fucking Africans, everybody. Okay, but you go in, the money that they make from selling the stuff that you take in, believe me, most of it goes to managing directors who are getting paid hundreds of thousands to put their kids through college while your kids are going to regular crap ass school, bring them in for a few years, kick them out, wait for the next lot to come in, one of those, schools, regular school. Their kids are going to college. They're living in a big house. They're driving a nice car, and they're going on holidays twice a year on the money that is paid from the charity shop, to the managing directors. And then you've got people who are earning shitloads of money, advertising and all this lot. So while you might think you're doing it, doing them a favor, you're actually putting money into a managing director's pocket, and sending him or their kids to a better school than, you're able to. So I figure rather than that, why not give it directly to the people who basically, who would benefit from that stuff, the woman in there who's running the place, I'll give her a shout out. Her name's Helen. She was telling me that things like socks, well, aside from the things I brought in, shavers, shaving foam, blades, shower gel, what were I'm not sure what the technical jam rags, like those, not tampons, but stuff for women, that kind of thing that people normally forget. Things like socks. I've taken in a bunch of shirts, but any variety of these things, they can give them directly to the people who are in need of them. So if anybody's interested, then by all means do that. Or if you're not near Crosslands on Stantonbury, then some other local one. But if you do go to Crosslands on Stantonbury, again, in the comment section, either here or in the videos on my regular cooking videos, let me know if you want the postal address, and I'll see if I can get that for you. But yeah, they give it directly to the people who would benefit from it. And they house 9 people, so I mean, there's plenty to. So no matter what size shirts, underwear as well. Oh, you know what I did? I took in a load of underwear as well, right? Brand new. All right, like I'm terrible, right? I'll go up the market and I'll go in, and then I think, right, I've got to get some underwear. I don't know what size underwear I am, right? Right. So I go in, I buy a pack of 3, get them home. You you try one on, they're not the right size. So now you've got 2 brand new ones on it's still in the packet. So you put them in a bag, right? And then you go up the next week and you go up, find the right size. But it turns out when you get home, they got the buttons on the front, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't like the buttons on the front. Hello. Who's this? Rob. Actually, the comments are flicking up there. Rob Peasoff. Rob Peasoff has donated £4.99. Thank you, Rob Peasoff. He writes a note. Hello, Mark. I work at Great. Although I'm just looking at your picture there because it says hello, Mark. I work at Great Linford Co-op and saw you last week. If you are coming in next, ask for my name and I will get. Oh, if you are coming in next, ask for my name and I will get you some reduced products. Thank you very much. You know what? And also, because I don't know whether you mean for my use for the channel to make up, but or I'm not sure if you mean for the homeless shelter, but either way, I'll if I can, I'll put some, depending on what the items are, I mean, I don't know what kind of items food wise, other than if you're looking I'm waffling on. I went in their kitchen today. I know that they can take dried and canned. I don't know about frozen, but whatever it is that you're able to do, that'd be great. Thank you. Actually, I'll make a note. Actually, where's my bit of paper? I'll write it on here. Actually, good. Anyway, all right. Let me. Yeah, because I'm looking at. I don't actually. Although I do see. I do see a lot of people in there. A lot of the same faces, but I'm not sure. It's difficult to tell with your little picture there. But yeah, thank you very much. Right, he says you work in the Great Linford. So what I'll do, I'll give it a go. I'll see if anybody will tell me if you're in or not. Thank you very much for your donation and your offer. I'll do that. But yeah, if there's anything in the way of what I've just described, the stuff that I've already brought in, and they can go to the homeless shelter, I shall do that. Yeah, because I mean, the shirts that I've taken in have been sort of casual. I mean, you've seen me wear all the shirts anyway. Sort of like this. Not exactly. You couldn't go for a job interview wearing this as such. But I've got a few nice shirts, which I'll check if I But things like that, But because you remember, these people go in. They're there for a while. They got their own cubicle, living arrangements. But if there's anything shirt-wise, trouser-wise, or whatever, that might, because the object is to get them on their feet and send them out to, help them get jobs and whatnot, So anything that would be presentable to wear on a job interview, I'm sure that they would well appreciate those, as well as casual stuff just for, in between job interviews. Once you get a job, you've got to wear some different stuff, otherwise you mess up your good stuff. So there's that, the cleaning products. I've taken a bunch of tea bags and coffee today, amongst other loads of different sauces and stuff. And I took in a load of sugar. It turns out they got sugar. All right, so thank you, Rob Peasoff. I shall check out. I shall want to go in. I should check out your. I'll see if I can find you in the co-op. Okay, there's a lot of people writing. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get to everybody. Peter B is watching. If things get out of hand, he's going to step in. Thank you very much. I actually do have one other moderator. I don't know where. He hasn't been around for a while, but Peter B's keeping law and order. But yeah, I was talking about the underwear, right? Because then when you get home with a pack of 3 underwear, you try one on, turns out to be the buttons on the front. I hate that. So now you've got 2 brand new still in the back. And I had about 7 or 8 pairs or 7 or 8 packs, of underwear. So took them in, they're brand new, So of course, I mean, when you're dealing with people at this place, you're dealing with all kinds of ages, sizes. So I mean, whatever you take in there, they'll find somebody to fit the shirt or underwear or socks. Socks apparently they're in. They're always in need of those. So that's the thing. I mean, out of all the clothing, it's like mine. I noticed that of all the clothing items that you wear and you own, socks are the things that get worn out the first. The first of all, because they're constantly being worn out. I mean, a shirt, trousers, t-shirt, they'll last for years or decades in my case, But socks, it's always the toes that get socks, that they're always in high demand, Scotty B, I think it was the Oxford one. Oh, you might be talking to somebody else. The Goose, who's the moderator? That would be, that would be Peter B. Moderator, what he's in charge of keeping law and order. Anybody gets out of order, they get put on a timeout or sent away or whatever. Okay, the Goose is chiming in. That's true. Yeah, I think I'm not because I'm waffling on. So many comments are going by. I think he's talking about the homeless thing. Hello. We've got a donation from Henry Chuckleson. Henry Chuckleson. That's quite a mouthful of a name. Henry. Actually, I was just thinking, because that would be a good. I was just thinking of when I read that, I was thinking of the Chuckle Brothers, which would be a good. Probably not one of those. Anyway, Henry Chuckleson's donated £1. Thank you ever so. Very decent. Nice big shout out for you as well. Mr. Ali, oh no, I haven't got the vaccine. I'll probably get one eventually. So yeah, so again, so there's the clothing, the hair gel, hair shampoo, underwear, all that stuff, right? Now, like I say, I'm only telling you this because if you want to support, then you can do that. It's similar, in the same way I did. But also, what I was thinking, because of what I did, I've given the woman in charge my card. My I haven't got one on me. My Marks Remarks card that I leave all over the buses. I leave all over bus shelters, everywhere that I can go. I hand them out to anybody or listen. I gave her my cards. She told me that she saw a couple of, seen a few of my videos. She liked them. She liked the idea of the £25 challenge. So I'm hoping she'll allow me one day, perhaps, to go in, because I went in. She let me. I asked if I could look around the kitchen to see, basically, just so I could see what they've got, what they need. They've got cutlery, spatulas. I don't know what they've got in the way of saucepans and frying pans and all that lot. I don't know. I'll have to check. So what I was thinking was, once I, get to know her better, and she's familiar with my work, perhaps I can take my old camcorder over here, which you can't, because I'm gesturing over here, which you can't see, but maybe I could take my camcorder over there and film a video in their kitchen, cooking up, because there's 9 people. I don't know. I don't think there's 9 people there at any one time, because people are coming and going and all that lot. But perhaps I can do something, make a pie, make a stew, although, it'll need some planning and organization, because remember, I'm used to dealing with, I've had people come round to, people I've worked with come round and, made some dinner to have them on film, and, so I've cooked for either 1 or 2 people, maximum of 2. So be interesting if I can whip up, something like, say, 4 at a time, but maybe make a big pie, something like my Christmas dinner and a pie. Now that would be interesting, because that kind of pie isn't just for Christmas, it's for all year round. Maybe I could do that, enough for 4 people or whatever, and of course do it on a budget. So I'll, maybe if need be, I can take a couple of them round to the shops to show them how to look for the bargains, how to make your quid, make your pound stretch even further. Henry Chuckleson has donated another £2. Thank you. Very decent of you. Yo, Mark, you able to show us your saucepan collection? Actually, well, the thing is, I've got 3. I've got 3 saucepans. I've got 2 frying pans, plus a small frying pan, a very small one that you'd fry an egg in, right? A single egg, or if you're extravagant, put 2 eggs in there, and for an extra thick one. But yeah, remind me on a cooking video, and I'll show off. I'll show off the whole range of cooking utensils that I use. Actually, I've got 3 frying pans, but one of them's a bit buggered up. So pretty much I use 2. But yeah, put the comment in one of my cooking videos, and I'll go through a selection of the utensils and saucepans. Of course, I use the wok as well, and a colander, so I can show you all that stuff. Yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, anyway, so that's the charity shop business I've been dealing with. So, like I say, if anybody's interested, Oh, if you do go down there, by the way, just if you do decide to go in there, on the Crosslands at Stantonbury in Milton Keynes, just say Mark's remarks. So, suggested that I come down here with some stuff. He said you might need some stuff. Mention my name. Not, just for shits and giggles. It'd be interesting to see how many people come down there and say the name. Yeah, just say Mark's remarks. Send me. It'd be great. And anything you want to give them, be mostly or greatly appreciated, I'm sure. I'm starting to feel the effect of this vodka. I haven't drank vodka in a few weeks, Big Brian. Yeah, frying pans are very good for offense and defense. Exactly. And I tell you, as soon as I was reading that, I'm picturing the scene. There's a Clint Eastwood movie, and I can't remember the name. It's where Clint Eastwood, at the very beginning of the film, he is in a Western, and he's not his usual tough guy thing at the very beginning. He's spending the night in the jail cell along with somebody else, right, for drunken disorderly. Okay, and he's handcuffed to the bed because he's been a bit rowdy, right? And there's a guy. The guard comes in with a pan full of beans, and the guy's giving him shit. All right. So when Clint Eastwood gets uncuffed, he goes up, picks up the can of beans and splashes them, throws them in the guy's face. And the guy's like, he's sort of stunned for a minute, right? And he gets up and then bang, backhander with a frying pan right in the face, knocks him out. That's the scene I was thinking of as soon as I read your frying pans for offense and defense. Anybody know the name of that movie? Yeah, Remarkable says Eastwood's a bit of a legend, I haven't seen that latest one he'd done about that bullshit story of that sniper. That was all fucking shit. That turned out to be the guy was making it up, talking out his ass. That guy, I can't think of his name. He was an army sniper. Yeah, Remarkable. Escape from Alcatraz. No, it's a Western. Later on, Robert Duvall and his henchmen hire Clint Eastwood to go search El Chapo, who's been a bit of a fucking pain, all over the. Henry Chuckleson said his grandfather escaped from Alcatraz back in the day. Was he one of those three guys that was floating on the boat made of raincoats and stuff? Spittle Fuzz. Heading off now, Mark. I'll keep watching your vids later. All right. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll catch you later. You can always watch all this stuff on the rerun. Yep, John D. Good, Bad, and the Ugly is a classic, indeed. It's not Alcatraz. In fact, I've got it down there. I don't know. Have I got it? I've got a bunch of Clint Eastwood. Can't see shit. Where's my glasses? Yeah, what was it? Big Brian, Escape from Chinese Prison Camp. No, it's not Chuck. No, it's a Western. Anyway. Yeah, anyway, it'll come back to me, maybe. Unforgiven? No, it's not Unforgiven. 4x4, no. Now that is a damn good film. That turned the whole thing on its head, with the Western. Go in there and shoot everybody up, and this was like the aftermath of being a killer. The visions you have to carry, the faces they have to relive, seeing. Look better. Oh, Mr. Ali O. Mark, you look better with a clean-shaven face like you do now. Actually, it's funny. That's what they said in the homeless place when I went in. I mean, the thing is that normally I look like I'm a resident in there, right? Because I haven't, because up until the other day, I hadn't shaved for about, must be 3 weeks, and yeah, I had to shave. Then it started snowing, didn't it? Like a bastard, right? So then I went in today, and she said, yeah, her in there said it was, it looked very neat and tidy, which is, yeah, I'm not really big on shaving. I don't like shaving much. But you know, you've got to. Anyway, what was I say? Yeah, so that's the charity thing. Anybody want to do that? Crossland, Stantonbury, say Mark's Remarks sent you. Oh, you know what? Oh, things that I've made a list. I've actually made a small list here. I don't know if I'll do. Edward Pickles. You ever watched Escape from Curry Island 2? The Big Barb's Revenge. No, I haven't seen that. Curry Island. No, I haven't seen that. TDCT, A Fistful of Dollars, Mark? No. Oh, shit. All right. All right. Let me put on my glasses. Yeah. I'm not even. I don't even know if I've actually got the movie. Let's see. I mean, I've watched it. Yeah. Well, I mean, if anybody's got the facility to watch this and Google, Clint Eastwood is in a Western, and it's got Robert Duvall in it. Robert Duvall and his henchmen hire him to go searching out El Chapo, and then they, I can't remember the Joe Kidd. Thank you. AD says Joe Kidd. That's the one. I don't know whether I might have that film there. I mean, I've watched it a few times. Yeah, Joe Kidd. That's it. 4x4 Outlaw Josie Wales. I have that, but John D. Joe Kidd, indeed. Yeah, David Copperfield, China, no doubt, still running those wet markets today. Stop the cause rather than treating the effect. Indeed. I'll tell you what, if anybody's going to pay for this virus, antidote, should be them. We should send them a bill. Send them a bill for all the lost revenue, that all the businesses that are shut down. And anyway, but they're not, because we're too lenient. Yeah, you know what? There's something else I want. If those of you who are regular YouTube watchers of videos in general, let's see how many. I tell you what. Anybody like the chat so far? Hit the thumbs up. Don't be shy. That there's an advert which there's certain adverts that just piss you off so badly that you will not buy their product because some asshole thought it'd be funny to put this ad on the telly or ad onto YouTube, and you think, no. There's an advert going around for something called Y Food. It's a meal in a bottle. All right, it's nothing new. They've been doing this fucking forever. Right, they've been doing it forever. I mean, I've actually made them in the thing here. If you type in, write this down, Mark's Remarks protein shake. I think I've done 2 protein shakes, right? The homemade, right? Back in the day when I was bodybuilding, I used to put eggs, milk, bananas, ice cream, protein powder, or carbohydrate powder, or both, depending on but nowadays I'm not bodybuilding, so what on occasion I'll make, I'll put milk, I put a whole bunch of eggs, 3 to 6 eggs in there, a bit of ice cream to kill the flavor, and bananas to kill the flavor. Mark's Remarks protein shake. You can do that for a fraction of what these people are charging. I looked. I clicked on the thing to see how much. I think there's something like in the area of £3. I think what was it? I can't remember exactly. It's something in the area of £3 a bottle, which is pretty scandalous. I mean, you could get a pint of milk for say I don't know. I don't even know how much a pint of milk is, right? But say £1, right? You get 6 free-range co-op eggs for 95p. Say £1, right? There's £2. So you got a pint of milk, you got 6 eggs. You buy some Co-op ice cream for a quid 20, right? In a carton, it's a litre. So you take one, you cut that into 6. You got 1/6 of that. What's that? 1/6 of a quid. Shit. Oh fuck me. What's that? About 17p? About 17p. All right, so you got a quid for the milk, a quid for the eggs, 17p for the ice cream, 20p for the banana. What's that? That's £2.20, £2.30, just under £2.40. Okay, and you don't have to use up all the eggs. You put 3 eggs in there, so that'll go on to the next. So yeah, you can make your own. And it's a whole hell of a lot better because it's not going to be in there. And and the thing is, what pissed me off is the advert when you got a whole bunch of goofs. They're really you can imagine they've got to be enthusiastic because they're trying to sell a bottle of crap, right? For 3 quid. But they're really enthusiastic. But there's one fucker that annoyed, right? Tell me if you've seen him, right? He's got a bald head. He's like he's about 25, 27. He's got a bald head, big glasses, and he's talking about, the thing is, when you're out at work and so out at work and you can't, you have this instead of a lunch, and all this. And he's talking about how sometimes he forgets to eat, which for me is a dumb thing to say. You forget to eat. Sometimes I forget to eat. And it's like, oh shit, I feel hungry. Oh shit. Okay. And then you reach for one of these. Oh, my savior, it's in a bottle. I'll drink this. But you forget, I've done it. But what's happened is you get up, you're late, you don't have time to eat before you leave the house, go to work. So what you do, you try and have something on the way to work, try and grab something, eat at work while you're supposed to be working, or so. You don't forget to eat. What kind of fucking idiot forgets to eat? It's like, you leave the house, right? You're at your front door and you've got, right, okay, my wallet, phone, keys, got my money, got my notepad, I got my pen. There's something I've forgotten. I forgot to eat. Oh, fuck me, what an idiot. So anyway, so I'm not buying this point. It's just a dumb, some actor guy trying to ham up his, 2 minutes of screen time. And it's just a dumb thing. Nobody forgets to eat. You don't have time to eat. You don't have any food in the cupboard and you've got to go out. There's lots of reasons why you don't eat. But forgetting to eat, you forget to take the laundry out of the machine to hang it up to dry for the morning. That's it. You forget about your TV show coming on the telly in half an hour because you were busy doing something else, doing the dishes. Or you forget that your TV show. You don't forget to eat. It's just stupid. Anyway, so that's why food. It's a food in a bottle. All right, it's nothing new. If you've got a blender, you can throw in your eggs. Just do what I did. Just follow mine. And then, Mark's Remarks protein shake, and you can make up any variation you have. I use eggs, milk, bananas. Instead of bananas, I've used strawberries in the past. Not strawberries. Yeah, strawberries. I've known people to put what do you call them, peaches in there. Anyway, who's this? Peter B. Fucking hell, I tell you what, the donations are coming in. Peter B has donated £4.99. Thank you very much, Peter B. Grab something for your allotment, Mark. Thanks for all your content. Well, thank you for your contribution, and you're very welcome for the content. Indeed. In fact, I tell you what, they're coming in thick and fast. The old contributions there. Yeah, thank you very much. Big shout out, Peter B. My number one mediator. Always coming in, always watching the show, always keeping law and order, because sometimes I can't be doing it, because I'm busy talking shite, But yeah, something for the allotment. So the allotment actually, by the way, is getting there. It's getting. I'll tell you what, trying to dig trenches and oh Jesus is hell. I've actually done some, but I don't think I've done enough to warrant a video. What I've done is see the first video was the hugelkultur. Anybody wants to see that? Anyway, you can go onto my channel, but hugelkultur, HUGELKUTUR, hugelkultur. Anyway, I did a video of that, and then the second video I did a walk around. This time round, around. Let me see. You saw the frame of the chicken run. You've got your wooden chicken run is where they live. You've got the metal one, which is where they're going to be running around, and it was that. I've dug a trench all the way round because what I want to do is put a metal wire mesh skirting at the bottom, and it goes out about 1.5 foot. Okay. It goes down and then out. So that way, when little fuckers come in and start digging, they'll meet the wire mesh. And hopefully that'll put them off for a bit. So I've done that. I had somebody around the other day. We're starting to we put half of the because the wire structure, the metal structure has got wire mesh around it. So we're in the business of putting that around. Once that's done, then I can start throwing seeds down, grass seeds, vegetable seeds down. Hopefully they'll sprout. So when I get the chickens in a few weeks, because they're being born, they've only just been born a few days ago. A friend of mine's got, been hatching a bunch of them, regular sized chickens and bantams. I think I'm going to go for the bantams. I could go for it because the thing is, I'm only allowed 4 on the allotment, which is a bit of a bastard, theoretically, I could have 10 in there, and they'd have plenty of room. But I'm only allowed 4, so I'm thinking I've got the option to go for big ones or bantam. Bantams being small. For those who don't know, bantam chicken is about the size of a pigeon. Okay, so bantams are good because what space I have there, it will be twice as much space than it would be for a regular sized chicken, even though that would be more than enough. They eat half to a third because they're only 1/3 the size of a regular chicken. So they'll eat half as much food. The eggs are about half the size, or even 1/3 the size. So the difficult part is when you start getting eggs every day. It's like when I worked at Burger King. It's all very well. It seems fun at the beginning, but then after a while, I think, oh shit, I can't face another egg. I need a week off. But of course, the eggs are still coming. In this case, I'll have 4 chickens, so I'll be getting between 2 and 3 chicken eggs a day. So even though you're not eating them, they're still accumulating up. So I was thinking about putting a box out there. See if anyone wants to buy an egg for 10 pence, great. And that will subsidise the feed. I'll probably give a bunch away to the homeless shelter over there. I'm sure they could do with a bunch of eggs. And of course, if anybody's got eggs, of course, and you live next to near Crosslands at Stantonbury in Milton Keynes, if you've got an allotment with chickens, by all means, take them down. And also, you can actually dig a hole in your what do you call it? The raised bed. Dig a hole. Crack some eggs in there, break some eggs, and then cover it over and put your plant on top, and it will. Apparently, that's really good. It's like dynamite for upcoming plants. Who we got here? Shit. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I shall entertain your question because you've donated £2. Ryan Evans donated £2. What age did you come out of the closet, Marco? And he's put the gay rainbow symbol thingies up there. Oh dear. Well, well, all right. Because you made a donation, I shall. Yeah, that's the thing, you know what I've seen. I'm not a big, like everybody knows. I'm of the, I'm not a big fan of the lifestyle. I've made no secret of that. But on the other hand, I'm a bit of a hypocrite because I'm a big fan of at least the good-looking lesbian porn. Okay, but I'm not a big fan of the male gay porn. It's just a man thing. We don't want to see that shit. All right, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite there. But yeah, I'm of the opinion as long as I don't see it, don't do. I hate looking at. When you do that, they do that gay pride thing where you've got guys in, silver underpants and fairy wings, or jumping around in Dr. Martin boots all over the fucking parade floats and stuff. I'm not a big fan of that stuff. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear about it. Like I say, it's no big secret. I'm not a fan, but I can deal with it as long as I don't see it. But yeah, so any road. What was I talking about? Can't remember. I forget. All right, all right, so yeah, that's our waifu. Yeah, I wish they would make adverts on the subject of this waifu. Why don't they make adverts that are that don't insult the viewer? You've got these. They're all going anyway. People go and hyper over a milkshake drink, and they talk stupidness like, what kind of idiot would forget? It's just things like that. I don't know whether I'm just a cranky old bastard. I just don't like stupid shit like that. Talking about stupid shit. Over the last few weeks, get this, in America. I watch the American news, the CNN. I like watching the Australian news because they report on the American news, but they give you a completely different slant on it. They don't do so much biased newscasting, as far as I can tell. Not like the American and the English news. There was a time when you could trust the BBC. You watch the news and it's unbiased. They just tell you what's going on without a slant, a biased slant on it. Now you can't trust the fuckers. You just can't trust any of them. I swear to Christ. And what's happening now in America? They're like, get this. Like before, similar to I think what I don't know. I would most likely have this in England. I don't see why not. But in this case, in America, my nose is itching a bit. If you get mistreated, shall we say, or not dealt with, the snowflakes will know what I'm talking about. If you're not dealt with in the fashion that you've grown accustomed to, right, by a police officer, what you do is you put a complaint. It might go further. It might go to court. The policeman smacked me around for no fucking good reason. What happens is it goes to court, and if there's any penalty to be paid, it's the police department or the government or the county that pays the lawsuit, right? The individual police officer is not financially liable for any penalty because any compo being dished out, it'll be the police. It'll come out of the police budget. But now, in some states in America, they've actually reversed that now, where the individual police officer is responsible for any criminal wrongdoing, which is fucking crazy. All right, to try and make this understandable, at least in my own head, if say something happens, whether it's real or imagined, okay, you feel that you've been slighted by the police, you've been mishandled, mistreated, misspoken to, you put agreements in, goes to court, the policeman has to give his side of the story, and then the court deems, okay, yeah, well, you were wrongfully thrown on the floor for no good reason and handcuffed and arrested. Apparently now it's the policeman who's liable for that, the individual, not the actual police force, which is madness as far as I can see. Because I know this because I've watched documentaries on, like prison gangs. I used to watch a whole bunch of those prison gangs, the American prison, maximum security and all that. You got the Nazis, the white supremacists. You've got all kinds of gangs. They're running the show basically in prison. I mean, let's face it. And when they come out, let me get rid of this. When they come out and they're in the Civvy Street, what they do, they've actually admitted this, and this is the procedure. What they do as a group, if any of them are, like as a known scumbag, just like anywhere else, the police know who you are. So if you're walking down the street, you are likely to be approached by a police officer. Right? Okay, turn out your pockets. Where you going? Where you been? Who you going to see? What you up to? All that. Put your pockets out on the countertop. Basically, because they know you're a scumbag and you're likely to be a future scumbag. So that's why they approach you. What these criminals, what these criminals do is every interaction that they have with a police officer, this is what they've openly admitted this, they will put a grievance in. Every time a police officer comes up and says, right, turn out your pockets, where you been, where you going, who you going to see, they will put a grievance in saying, well, the policeman, shoved me against the wall, or he called me an asshole, called me a fucking, jungle bunny, he called me anything. All this, whether it's, basically they make it up. They admit it, they make it up and say, yeah, we do. We make this shit up. And when a police officer has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 complaints coming into him, onto him as an individual, coming into his staff sergeant, into his into his manager, when you go half a dozen, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 complaints coming in, after a while that fucking policeman doesn't bother hassling you anymore. He just keep on driving, keep on going. Fucking I know what they just leave them alone. They figure, right, well, every time I have a chat with this guy, they put a complaint in, whether it's made up or not, just make shit up. And they know the policeman will not fuck with you forever once he gets a reputation, because he knows his career is fucked. You get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 complaints coming in of, oh yeah, but he called me a fucking asshole, he shoved me, and he was a bit forceful, and he wasn't very polite. You get 6 of those on your record, you can forget about any chance of promotion or any advancement or transfer to another depot or police station. And this has been shown on documentaries where these people will openly admit it as gang members. This is what we do. We all swap information. Right, this is our procedure. Every time we get collared or spoken to a policeman, next day we put in a complaint. And that's what's going to happen now that the policeman, instead of the department taking this shit, it's the individual officer. You can imagine how many complaints are going to go through, because you got these, these fucking arsehole chancers, right? Like somebody on the news said, you're going to have specific law firms dedicated to fucking with the police. Just like the no win, no fee. All right, you've got those springing up. Okay, they're for the chances. Okay, you've got your people who got money and they figure, right, well, I need a good lawyer. I'm going to go to court and spend some money on this. And then you've got your people who don't got the money. They don't want to spend the money on a gamble that they're going to get some return, compensation. So that's why they come up with the no-win fee. It's a no-lose for the person. I fell off a ladder. They'll do a no-win, no fee. So if I get something, great. If I don't, fuck it, hasn't cost me anything. And now you're going to get these firms springing up by the boatload, all right, saying, you've been fucked with by the police? Call us, okay? We will try and get you some compo on a no-win, no fee. You've got no risk. So basically, every time you get stopped for a speeding fine, stopped walking down the street because you look like somebody, being approached by a police, right, move on here, you've got to go, put a grievance in. You might win something, you might not. Either way, it costs you nothing, and that's what's going to happen by the thousands. It's a matter of time before these firms start thinking, well, shit, the firms are thinking, well, what will we do? We'll put our low budget, brand new, just come out of law school students onto these cases. All right. So they can sort of like learn the trade, cut the teeth, if you like, on these cases. They're basically, something that the real lawyers don't want to sort of be dealing with. It costs them half a day, in time in court. It gives them a boatload of experience how to deal with court procedures and that. So it's a win-win for the law firm. The person putting in the grievance, maybe he wins, maybe he don't. Either way, doesn't cost him any money. Well, why the hell not? So then you're gonna have thousands of frivolous lawsuits hitting the police officers. And then you figure, see what's going to happen then is just like the gang members when they say, they put in a grievance every time the policeman looks at them cross-eyed, put in a thing. You got the policeman thinking, well, fuck, listen, I'm not even going to get out of the car unless I see somebody with a gun. Other than that, you're on your own. Fuck it. You think I'm going to lose my fucking house for you people? No. If I, say you have to tackle somebody. So you got a shoplifter, you got a criminal, and you tackle them and they hit the floor. And then you're all of a sudden you've got to pay comp over 30 grand, 40 grand, 50 grand. You think they're going to lose their house over that? One, they're not going to bother getting out of the fucking car to deal with crime. So you as a citizen are on your own, and if you're American, you're okay because you've got access to firearms, so you can protect yourself. Not like the government here, which don't allow us to do that. And two, you're going to have people thinking, well, fuck, it's not worth it. What, do this for so much an hour, and at the end of it, if you've got your chance of losing your livelihood and your house and whatnot, so I'm leaving. Fuck it, I'll work in a petrol station or some shit, work in a warehouse. And then on the other hand, on your third hand, is you got people who are not going to join. Because they're thinking, wait a minute. So I go in for several years. I'm up to my ears in work, going to college to learn the law, learn everything from law to first aid to police procedure, learn how to be firearm proficient, all this. And then the minute I walk out into the street, I've got a target on me. One, because I'm a uniformed police officer, and uniformed police officers are looked at as shit nowadays. So you got that. So you got people who are willing to kill you because you're a police officer, and more than likely they're going to get away with it because the way some of the states in America are sort of going now, what with allowing people to be let free from court without doing any jail time for serious shit, burning down cities in Portland and all the rest of it. So you've got that, you're going to work, and then on top of that, you're liable for you're financially liable for any misconduct, real or imagined, where you could be, possibly be financially viable, for any law case that doesn't go your way on a daily basis. I mean, you figure how many interactions these people have. You could have 15 lawsuits every day of the week. Everybody you come into action with or have interaction. So anyway, so that's that's my gripe on the American police system. And you figure we're pretty slow on the uptake here in England. Okay, we look to America and we figure, well, yeah, and then 20 years later, well, we might implement that. But I can tell you, you look at the Black Lives Matter fucking bullshit that happened in America. It wasn't long before they tried to do that here. You got that John Boyega. I talked about him on a previous live stream. He's up there in that London park with his megaphone and his knuckle duster gloves, talking about how we need to rise up against protect our women. What the fuck that was about? Protect them from what? Anyway, he was trying to start a riot. A fucking deadbeat. Yeah, fuck him anyway. But yeah, he was doing that. So we're not far behind. If it catches on over there, it's not that far behind that our police officers will no longer have the umbrella protection of, if there's any, we will have the police department, helps out with a lawyer. We go to court, but no, if it's the individual police officer who is financially liable, you can see a major drop, just like they're having over there. You got people leaving the force and nobody's joining. What the fuck? The ones who are staying, fuck knows what they're thinking. You know, I mean, they just haven't woken up yet. You know, it's just, but you know, give it time. And then it reminds me. Over the last couple of days, I've been watching on my well, my PS3 here. I can play DVDs. I've been watching. Anybody who's watched the movie, and I'm sorry I haven't been. I'll get to the comments. I'll try and get to the comments in a minute, but I'm waffling. I've been watching that Kurt Russell movies, Escape from New York and Escape from LA. Watch those movies and tell me that that isn't what's going on now. The first one, Escape from New York, okay, crime is so bad. It actually says on the captions, crime rate has gone up 100%, which actually in real life now it's gone up more than that in like New York. You know, the murders have gone up 150%. You know, shootings have gone up well over 100%. Crime's not being investigated because the police are being defunded and they're leaving and they're sick of it. You know, so when I'm watching this, I'm thinking, fuck me, that is talk about. I mean, this is like 1980. I don't know, 85, something like that, 1980 something. And I'm thinking, talk about life imitating art, or art imitating life. John Carpenter, well, actually, I think he wrote it in 74, but it got made in like 1980 something. Crime is so bad that they've actually fenced off the city of New York. New York is the prison in this Escape from New York. And I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, I mean, how, you know, that surely is what's going on now. Well, the New York is like the fucking Wild West. I mean, you've got things like that that poor bastard the other day. He was an Uber Eats driver, or one of those drivers who delivers for you know those food outlets, right? He's driving his car. Two teenage black girls jump in the car, try to taser him and steal his car. And he doesn't want, you know, it's his fucking livelihood, this car, right? So he's hanging on the fucking door. They speed off, flip the car onto its side, right? He's out there fucking dead, dying on the pavement. You got people stand, you know, you got a couple of soldiers coming along, you know, because of course the you know, you got the national, I was going to say National Front, the National Guard. They're leaving him on the pavement. Fuck him. They're helping these two black girls out of the car. One of them wants to go back because she's lost her phone in the car. She doesn't give a shit about the poor bastard on the floor. This is what's going on, you know. So you got things like that. You've got people getting mugged and cars being attacked in the streets. You've got people being shot at an alarming rate. So it, you know, is it such a far stretch? Because people are leaving New York. They're saying, fuck this, you know, and it is, it's turning into the Wild West. So is it such a stretch when you watch Escape from New York? You're thinking, oh, yeah, it's fantasy adventure. You know, it's like they cordoned off New York. Is it such a stretch that New York would get so bad? I mean, it's getting bad now. I mean, how bad is it going to be in a year's time? Is it such a stretch for it to be to turn into that movie where all the citizens have to move and we're going to put in all the criminals? We're going to have a big border around the side. We're going to have guard posts every every quarter of a mile or whatever, machine guns, floodlights, and all that lot. I mean, yeah, I mean, there will be people thinking, shit, Mark, that's a bit, a bit outrageous, but it is turning into basically, it's turning into a free for all. I've seen you. I mean, you must have seen the videos. You know, you've got feral kids. You know, 15-year-olds. There were like 10 of them attacking cars in the middle of the fucking street. You know, with immunity. They're banging the windows out with with the skateboards and whatever else, and they're these two girls. Oh, they're going to get off next to scot-free, by the way. By these two girls, their lawyers have done a deal that it's something about, because they're not going to regular prison. They're like fucking 15 years old. These two fucking shitheads, 15 years old, and they've murdered somebody. They're going to basically, if they do any time, it's going to be in a low budget holiday camp, reform school, and they're going to do no more than no more than a few years. They're going to be in captivity, incarceration for no more than 6 years, apparently, according to some of the reports, which makes them 21. They're 15 now, so they're going to be 21 years old, 22 when they get out. They're not going to regular prison, because they're too young for that. But that's the age. They're too young for prison, and they're too young, too young for prison, too old to I don't know. But you imagine that two girls robbing a guy of purely for his car. They went there with the intention of doing it because they went there with a could have been they could have had a gun for all if they'd put their mind to it, but they had a stun gun, not realizing that this poor bastard. These you take a man's car, it's all fun and games, but you got to reason that this is how he fucking puts food on the table, and of course he's doing his best to trying to get his car back. They drive down the road, spin out, flip the car. Anyway, so you mark my words, in I mean, it may not be weeks or months, but one day it is going to get so bad that they will say, fuck it, right? That's it. Everybody out. New York is a prison from this day forward, and what we do, just like in Gangs of New York, Escape from New York, you go in and you don't come out. Okay, and then what we'll do every month, we're going to helicopter some stuff, and then what it's going to be, you think it's fucking bad now? Wait until it turns into prison. They've got the whole place walled off. Then, just like in the Escape from New York, you'll have lots of gangs who will be preying, well, just like they are now. They'll be preying on the weak and the vulnerable, taking their resources, and you heard it here first. I predict that New York will, like I say, it could even be years, but it is not such a stretch, in my opinion. Okay. I've got a few more subjects, but we'll get to those shortly. Let me see if. Yep. Okay. I've gone back a bunch, but I'll try and run through a few DB shout outs. Oh shit, my eyes are going. I'll tell you what, I haven't had vodka for a few weeks and it's starting to affect my eyesight. Okay. David Copperfield. Yes, Mark. Honest on his love of lesbian porn. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I've got no aversion to lesbian porn as long as it's the good kind. Okay. I definitely don't want to see any, the other kind or the male kind or the diesel dyke. Don't any of that. But yeah, the regular good kind. No problem there. Dave, I have no problem with the gay guys as long as they don't try to ram it. That's from Dave, thank you. Ali G, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Chinese plague. And I wish people would just call it the Chinese fucking plague. That's what it is. Donald Trump coined that phrase, the Chinese plague. Never mind about coronavirus or COVID-19. It's a fucking Chinese plague. That's what it is. David Copperfield doesn't trust the BBC. Indeed, the BBC could be trusted at one time, not anymore. Peter B. TV often seems to be dumbing down. People are giving up on ability to think for themselves. Indeed, yeah. And when you do think for yourselves, there are videos left and right on YouTube that have been taken down, because people are, Donald Trump can't get on. Donald Trump can't get onto YouTube or any of the other platforms. It's like the thing is, I mean, free speech has gone down the shitter. If you don't agree with what YouTube is saying, they'll take your video down. They actually done that with one of mine in mid-sentence. I was doing a live stream and I was talking about the right. This is where the rioting first started happening in Portland, and I was talking about how they should be dealing with the rioters. It got cancelled mid-sentence. Fucking bastards. There's been countless other people who've had videos taken down. I get a lot of my videos demonetized purely because YouTube don't agree with You know, and I'll tell you, I'm waiting for. I'll tell you now, I'm waiting for Donald Trump to get his own platforms going. Because I was thinking about, because I don't know how to do it. I'm going to have to get somebody around. I was thinking about going to one of these other ones, BitChute or one of them others. But if Donald Trump does a equivalent to what this is, equivalent to a YouTube site as well, he's probably going to do Facebook and whatever else, But if he does something similar to this, I've got to tell you, I'll do what I can to get over to that, because I'm a big fan of Donald Trump. I like what he's done. I like what he's been doing in the past. I'll tell you what, though, if he wants to stay in politics, he's welcome over here. I'd vote for him over here. Let me tell you. But if he does a channel similar to this, I'll switch over. YouTube don't do shit other than be fucking with the YouTube makers. I've said it before. We YouTube, what do they call them? They call us content providers or some stupid fucking title like that. We make them millions and millions and millions of pounds through ad revenue, and they fucking fuck with us every chance they go. Every month they're coming up with a new addition to the terms and policies. Things we can't do. We can't use. We can't talk about firearms. When I load this, or when I load a video, all right, there's a whole list come up, and it says, does your video have any kids in it? Does your video have firearms or ammunition or discussion about firearms? Okay. Does it have talk about drugs? Does it have any foul language? Get the one of the options that it lists that you can't be doing. Does it have content that may cause offence? Which is fucking everything that you could, any subject you could think of, some asshole is going to get offended about it. So when it says, does your content have anything that could be deemed as offensive, or against it probably, I can't remember exactly, but it probably lists a few types of people that might be offended by your stuff, and you think, tick 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 tick, and all this, and that's what I, as a content provider, has to go through, and then they decide whether your video is going to be monetized or not, or what they like to term it mostly is partly monetized, or some wording like that, or your video is eligible for some or none adverts. So if it's good, I can put a bunch of adverts on it. If it's not, I don't get any adverts. If it's somewhere in between, I get, they choose when and where and what adverts to put on it. It is a fucking nightmare, and there's pretty much no. So basically, it's my cookery videos. They're the only thing that actually generate fuck all. By the way, I'll tell you, not many YouTubers will tell you I get less than £20 a month through advertising. I've got over 1,000 videos, 1,048, I think, is the total videos. I usually get, months ago, the most I've ever had is £30. I don't know whether that's due to the contributions that happen, say, during the live stream, and I don't know whether that's included, but the most in revenue is £30. But the least of it was, when I first started, it was pence, and then it'd go up to £3. I remember it was £3 at one point. Now I'm averaging about £17 to £20 a month. It's no big fucking whoop. Definitely not worth the time that I'm putting into it and the effort for £20 a month. But like I say, it's all good, because whatever I get, I can plow into the cookery videos, and buying feed for the chickens, which I'll make videos for you to have a ganders at. But no, and they still, you figure, if I'm, Yeah, so I mean, the amount of fucking that they do with us, is not worth the 17 to 20 pounds a month, and that's on a good, that's on a pretty much good month, you know. Anyway, but yeah, they, I don't know. So yeah, so if Donald Trump, gets a equivalent of this, I'll try and get somebody over to shift all my videos over. And yeah, because I mean, I mean, up until last year or so, I was perfectly happy. I was familiar with the site. Everybody else is familiar with it, but honestly, they put so many restrictions on people. I mean, me, regulars to the channel will know that I'm not a politically correct person. I despise politically correct talk. I can see straight through it. When you see a guy on the telly, and especially I've seen it. Everything from wrestling interviews, where they interview wrestlers, to politicians, to people on talk shows, to even people in general. You work in a place, you get six guys together, and if somebody's, say for example, somebody says, well, one example was that this guy on wrestling, he was talking about how another wrestler went for the gay angle. He pretended to be gay just because you need back in the 80s and 90s. You had a gay wrestling character, and the crowd would go mad with the hate. Okay, that's how it worked. So the guy says, "Well, yeah. I mean, he went for the gay. I was thinking about going with the gay aspect, but I didn't think it was me. Some other guy tried me, but nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And you think, do you mind? I'm trying to fucking tell a story here. You can see straight through that. It's like saying, "Please like me." I'm not with those. No, I like the gays. I like the fucking foreigners. I like everybody. Please like me. And it's like, and you feel like saying, like there was a thing that Jim Norton used to do when this subject used to come up, when if some guy was on the news saying, "This is disgusting, this is fucking awful behavior," Jim Norton would be, on the interview saying, "Yeah, okay, we get it. You're a nice guy. Okay, we understand. Like, you're so transparent, it's like with your outrage, we understand. You're a nice guy. Let's move on, And that's the kind of thing that I hate, the transparent, like, "Oh, please, don't think bad of me, Oh, fuck off." So, and that's the kind of thing that I like to do on my live streams. Oh, the cookery is a whole different thing. The cookery is all wholesome. I'm doing a subject. I'm doing cookery. The live stream is where I like to be let loose off the reins, if you like. But you can't do that anymore on YouTube. They're just getting too controlling. They're too, but and it's like, they want to be advertiser friendly. Okay, which is their excuse. But I bet you, if you go to an advert, if you go to a car company, a holiday company, this Y food fucking people that are doing milkshakes in a bottle. If you go to them as YouTube, go to them and say, "Are you happy with your advert being played on a video promoting gun use, or somebody doing, and they say, fucking right, we're trying to sell our shit to these people. Put our ad on these videos. That's why we pay you. We don't care who is watching it. Yeah, people who like guns also drink milkshakes. Put our fucking ads on there and shut it, right?" Of course they will. The companies don't give a shit who watches their videos. The main thing is they don't want to be connected. If you're talking about the gays, the foreigners, the blacks, the politicians, the police, companies sometimes don't want to be associated with a hot subject. Okay, personally, I'm not involved that way of thought, but I mean, if somebody in the company, in the product company, had any guts, they would say, "Well, fuck it, rioters, buy food. Let's advertise to them. People who like guns buy food. Put our adverts on their videos. The police, they buy food. They buy cars. Put our ads on these you know, it's just YouTube trying to be the moral police. And if you ask the companies who actually sell this shit, 9 out of 10 will say, fuck it, we don't care. Just get our advert, get our product out to as many of them as you can. Leave me alone. But they don't. They just want to be the moral police and says, right, well, we'll be the moral police. We'll be offended, like popular now. We'll be offended on your behalf. We're offended by old Marks here talking about fucking fuck knows what. So we think that the advert should be outraged as well, which they're not. So fuck them. If I get the chance, I'm moving on. Okay. There you go. Peter B's keeping law and order. I see he's keeping under control. Henry Chuckleson, Electro. What did you say, mate? Oh, he's talking about Electro. Mine Pro SMP. Free eggy. Yeah, if I get any eggs out of these chickens, it'll be a few months. Well, they're being born now, by the way. Anybody's interested, the chickens being born now. They've been hatched over the last few days. They'll have to be a few months old before I can get them, before they can be let loose, because you can't be having chicks running around unprotected, if you like, defending themselves. So I'll have them, after a little while. After that, what was it? I think it's about 16 weeks up, from birth to 16 weeks, which is what, 4, 8, 12, 16, 4 months, about 4. So I'll have, so from birth to 4 months, no eggs, and then 4 months onwards, approximately, then it's going to start churning out the eggs. Colonel Sanders, a man with blue hair, told me to vote Labour, or otherwise I'm a Nazi. I know, that's a big buzzword. Now, speaking of Nazis, that's the other subject I've got here. Oh man, it's to do with that. What was it? Was it? I think it was. No, it wasn't Australia. It was Canada. It was Canada. That pastor in the church in Canada. He's having a service, right? They're doing the old, I don't know, sing along to Jesus, and then what he done? He must have filmed it on his phone or something. Okay, you might have seen it on the. It's been all over YouTube. Okay, what was it I say? The Canadian pastor. Well, I say Canadian. He's in Canada, but he's like he was Polish or some shit like this. Okay, he's having a service, having a sing along. I think there were 6 of them. I think like 3 or 4 police. There was a woman and 2 of her colleagues. It looked like came in the front door and trying to get up the stairs, and he's there with his phone, not a cheap ass phone like this, but he's filming. He's going, and the woman's going, yeah, well, we'd like to have a chat with you, but he's like, I don't care, get out, leave now. Do you understand English? Move. I don't want you here. You're not welcome. Get. And she's like, yeah, well, the thing is, I don't want to hear it. Get out. And she's like, she's trying to. She's got some backup, so she's getting a bit fucking, she's trying to keep her cool. Yeah, well, the thing is, mister, we've been coming out, I don't want to hear it, and he was, it was a treat. She's trying to argue her case like they do. Like these authority types. They're like, shut up, fucking I'm talking. And he's like having none of it. He's like, shut it, I don't want to hear it. And then he starts off with the Gestapo, right? Get out, Nazi. Nazis are not welcome here. You're the Gestapo. Don't you be using your Nazi Gestapo tactics over here. Get out. You're not welcome. And he wouldn't let this woman talk, because once you start letting these fuckers talk on the stairs, she because her spiel is going to be, well, listen, you're against the law. In actual fact, the Canadian law, one of these channels brought it up. You're not allowed to come in and be fucking with a religious service. Some of these, that's unlawful. So of course her spiel is like, well, the thing is, Mister Preacher Man, you're breaking the law. We've come here. You're not allowed to have any people associated because of the health scare. So we have here. He's not having any of it. He's not allowing her to speak. He's shouting over her, "Get out! Get out! Get out! Leave now! You're not welcome." Oh, it was and the thing is, it makes you wonder. Why is it that he's the only one doing it? I mean, you've got. You've got business. I mean, I don't know whether. See, the thing is, he was running a church service, which there was apparently in Canada. Some guys brought up this on a channel that you can, basically, if it's a church service, you cannot be coming in and fucking with. Church service because it's freedom of religion or some shit. I don't know whether that applies to shops because the police are not going to fucking tell you your rights. Okay, they're there to fuck with you. I'm just following orders. Yeah, that's where the Nazi comes in because they were just following orders as well. That was their fucking thing. They're up in court. Well, Your Honor, I was just following orders. Yeah, fucking murder people left. And that's what the police are doing. But nothing to do with me. I'm just following orders. Yeah, if you had any fucking backbone, you'd call in sick that day. You fucking. Okay, so yeah, but I'm wondering whether because the thing is, people have a tendency to bend over for authority figures. Okay, whether it's the council, as long as they've got a couple of policemen. I've said this before. I've watched videos on you've got the TV license people banging on your door. They'll have 2 policemen with them, as backup in case you're fucking not putting up with their shit. You just slam the door. So when you've got some fucking deadbeat from the council coming into your shop, into your corner shop, your chippy, your hairdressers, they've always got a couple of policemen with them, because they know it's not going to end well for them if they don't have any backup. Somebody who knows the law who might want to chip in or say on a video, can shopkeepers say, "You are not welcome here. Get out. Get out. I don't want to hear it. Get out. There's the door. You're not welcome. You're trespassing. Fuck off. Get out of my shop." Will that work? I'll tell you, because people with shops, restaurants, all kinds of stuff, they've been shutting down their businesses because one, they figure a lot of people have been retracted. Oh, a lot of comments are gone. Peter B, keeping law and order. Good. A lot of people are using their business because the guy comes in from the council. Oh, yeah, well, the thing is, under the COVID fucking Chinese plague rules, you have to shut your business. And, okay. If a guy stood up and says, like this pastor guy did, would a shopkeeper have any leg to stand on and say, listen, this is private property, if I don't want you in my fucking business, when I had my video shop, contrary to what people believe, actually, customers, especially the fucking rowdy ones, seem to think that you owe them service because you're a shop. At the end of the day, like the policeman told me, he says, listen, if you don't want them in the shop, you tell them to leave. I said to him, well, how long do they have to leave? Well, how long does it take to get from here to get to the fucking door? That's how long they have to leave, If you don't want them in the shop, off they go. I've had to grab people out in the day, back in the past, and bang them through the door, get around the corner. It's funny, one time I got this kid round the throat, right, round the neck. Well, one round the neck and one, I've got him round the collar. And I'm using him as a battering ram to push his mate through the door. That's how fucking rough it used to get sometimes. And then a fucking video shop. Can you believe that? That's the things I had to do. Anyway, so I'm wondering, if you have a corner shop, right, you're trying to run your business, or at least like round my way, right, there's a co-op, there's a corner shop, there's a Costa Coffee, there's a Indian run, what they call them nowadays, convenience shop, there's a chicken shop, and there's a chippy next door. These are all fine, people go in. Is there a chippy? Yeah, chippy. they're all fine to go in, which I don't get, because some businesses are shut down, some businesses are left open. I don't know. So if the council or the police come in, can you sling them out verbally? Of course, I tell you, it's getting a crazy world. So, I mean, so if, it'd be interesting to see if, any more people take this guy's example. All you have to do, it's like on a plane. There was some other videos I've been watching. Right, there was a pregnant woman. She was like 7 months pregnant. She's got a husband next to her on a plane, and she's got like a 3-year-old eating. She's on the woman's lap, like a 3-year-old eating yogurt. It was one of these low budget, not EasyJet, but one of these equally low budget airlines, apparently. Of course, the stewardess comes up and says, right, basically, because they're filming this, everybody's got phones now, which I'm surprised they let you on the fucking plane with phones after they smashed that Chinaman's face into the chair, knocked his teeth out, and then dragged him down the middle aisle. Remember that guy? I'm surprised they let you take camera phones on the fucking planes now. Anyway, so they're filming this woman, and the stewardess comes up, real fucking arsey from the beginning, because they hate the customers, telling her how, you need to get up, you need to leave, right? She goes, what the hell? So, well, face masks. No, I'm wearing a face mask. My husband's here. My husband's wearing a face mask. It turns out to be the fucking 3-year-old, but which you don't need to wear face masks when you're eating, by the way. If you're in a restaurant, you can take them off and you're eating. The kid is eating a thing. Anyway, but so they got taken off. A short time later, they got let back on. And surprisingly enough, a whole bunch of people around started to jump in, which is unusual because normally people are like, oh, fuck, don't make eye contact and maybe they'll leave me alone. That's how the fucking world works now. But good on these people. They said, what the fuck? They're wearing their masks. The kid's eating. Leave the kid alone. The kid don't need to wear a fucking mask. They're wearing a mask. I'm wearing a mask. You're wearing a mask, right? None of us are going to catch anything because we're wearing a mask, Anyway, they got people off and then they let them back on. But that's what it needs. It needs people to stand up. An example when, I've actually said this, I'm the kind of person who, if I see a wrongdoing, I actually speak up very fast, very loud, and then afterwards thinking, wow, I can't believe I just did that. Not that I'm ashamed of when I have these outbursts or anything, but like when I saw this guy kick his dog, I fucking bang, that was it, straight on him. And I was like, giving him shit for half an hour, and following him up. Because I had like the Jedi fucking force was, because I knew, because the guy's behind me 30 feet. The dog's misbehaving, not coming to him anyway, kicked the dog and had it out with him. I've had this out at other places, at supermarkets, where the staff are giving some guy shit, some complete stranger, and I've jumped in. I've actually jumped in on behalf of a fucking stranger and said, no, you're wrong. The fucking customer here, it has a point. You're not right. Your policy here is not right. He's done nothing right. Nobody ever does that, though. I must be the only one in the fucking country to do this. I will jump in, mainly because, I don't know, I don't particularly like confrontation, but I don't like listening to shit. I don't like listening to bullshit. I don't like people in perceived authority, mainly shop assistants who are abusing their power, or what little power they perceive they have, or I told you about that guy. I had an argument with a policeman outside a chicken shop once, because they were arresting this guy, right? And what they were doing, they were fucking, leaning on him, trying to get the cuffs on. It's like, 3 of them leaning on. The guy's going, and they're like, stop resisting. What they're doing, they're basically trying to save themselves in court. They're saying, stop resisting, stop resisting. A bit like when an American policeman, they say, put the gun down, put the gun. Please don't put the gun down. That's what they're thinking. That's what I've heard this from a police officer on a documentary. That what they're doing, they're protecting themselves for court. So when the 6 people go to court and think, well, I heard the policeman say 6 times, stop resisting. So that's what they're doing. If the guy, that's what they do. They're covering their ass. Anyway, so they one of them at the end of it climbs through the hedge to take this kid's camera, and I said, listen, that's bullshit. You can't take that kid's camera, right? Because you're not allowed to. And he says, well, option under section 35 of the like, oh, fuck off. I went home and looked it up. Turned out to be the Terrorism Act. Whatever the section 32 or some bullshit he was talking about. What it is, it's the go-to section that they go to. Any bullshit you get off the public. Well, I tell you, under section 32, I'm allowed to confiscate your skateboard. No, it's just a go-to bullshit that nobody, unless they have access to the internet right there and then, can find out otherwise. I looked it up, and it turns out to be the Terrorism Act. But he used that to get this kid's phone to make sure that there was nothing on his phone incriminating about what they just done. Fucking 6 of them trying to drag this guy into the van, Oh, yeah, one of them got pepper sprayed, by the way. One of the policemen pepper sprayed his mate. Anyway, what the fuck? Right. So I don't know what the fuck I was talking about. So yeah, so good on these people on the aircraft, but that's what it needs, It needs people to stand up and say, wait a minute. The husband and wife are wearing face masks. The kid is a 3-year-old who doesn't need to wear one, who's also eating on a plane. We're trying to get to our fucking holiday, right? So it needs people to stand up, because what are they going to do? If everybody on the plane says no in one fucking voice, says no, this is not right, go get your manager, get the fucking pilot out of his chair, go get the manager, get your supervisor, get them down here, and you got 80 people all saying the same thing. This is not right. What are they going to do? Throw 80 people off the bus, off the plane? But people don't. It's like, oh, fuck. Like I say, it's like, oh, shit, don't make eye contact. I'll just sit here quietly, and maybe they'll leave me alone. It's like, no, just fucking stand up. Because when it's like I've had this at a place of work, right? Well, I'll tell you, when I was at Argos, right, we had this, we had a manager, Aaron. There was 4 of us in the loading bay. All right, and every week, every fortnight, he used to come down, tell us what a bunch of cunts we were, useless motherfuckers, and we're not doing the proper thing, and we're all fucking useless, and all this. And everybody was like, because what he used to do was 4 of us all in the line having this fucking ass kicking, and he was going, okay, yeah, I need some people to come in at the weekend, and of course one guy's like, oh shit, no, I can't do it because I've got a thing going on with a wife, right? And he go, okay, you. Well, the thing is, I've made arrangements. I've got the, the dentist. And okay, you. And at the end of it, at the number 4, me on the end, he comes in, right? Why can't you do it? I said, well, I don't need to give you a reason. I can't do it. I'm not willing to do it. I don't want to do it. I'm fucking doing something else. That's all you need to know. And I would be the troublemaker, because everybody else is shitting themselves, trying to think of, oh, fuck, what excuse can I use? If everybody, and I used to tell them, because they used to act like tough guys when the manager's not around. Oh, yeah, if he comes down here, I'm going to fucking tell him, no, I'm not doing it. You look at them thinking, yeah, And of course, I'm the only one who stood up and said, but I should tell them, if everybody fucking stands up in one voice says, no, I don't need to tell you why I don't want to work on the weekend, he wouldn't come down and give a shit every fucking time. Why don't you want to do it? Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Why don't you want excuses off of it? And if he didn't deem the excuse good enough, that was it. He'd go on and on and on. Okay, well, I could come in for 4 hours. I'm sure I could rearrange it. It's because nobody stands up. You've got one guy. In that case, it was always me, and I'm the troublemaker. All right, because I'm the only one who stands up. Everybody else is fucking shitting themselves. And but if everybody stood up, like at the place of work, on the plane, outside the chicken shop, everybody stood up and said, "No, you're wrong. Just because you're wearing a fucking badge and you got a radio on you and whatever, you got some kind of perceived authority. It doesn't make it right, And like I say, you like the old thing where you got strength in numbers. One guy makes trouble, he's a troublemaker. Deal with him. You've got 3 security guards, they'll drag him out. You've got 30 guys saying, no, this is not right. But what you got to do is, say on a plane, if you didn't mind getting fucked with by security for a while or that on a plane, all you need is 3 guys to stand up in the aisle and basically saying, well, you're not passing me to get to the fucking door with this family until you've come up with a good reason why you're hassling them and trying to throw them off in the first place. He's not, the 3-year-old's not wearing a mask. So what? Okay, you better come up with a good reason, or I'm not getting to myself. I'm standing here, and the fucking security come in, get 3 guys, and then if you get 10 people, what are they going to do? Security going to get rid of 10 people, 20 people, 30 people? It's more hassle than they're worth. You got 30 people all stand up and says, no, this is not right. Leave the fucking kid alone. And the airline are going to be saying, oh shit, okay, it's going to cost us more money to sit here on the tarmac than it is to kick these fuckers off and get security to deal with it. Let's just leave them alone and get on with it. Just needs people to stand up. Just like that pastor in that church, he was on his own with a phone, fending off 3 police officers and 3 people from the health and safety fucking brigade from the council. He fended them all off, and they just turned. 3 minutes worth of screaming and shouting. No, 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 no. Get out, Nazi. You're not welcome here. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And, keep walking. Tell it walking, right? 3 minutes of that, and they left. It's because he stood, because all you got to do is basically not mind. It's like I don't know what it is. It's like that I heard on a program once. The trick to slimming is not mind being hungry. Okay, so the trick to standing up for your rights is not worrying about being escorted out of the movie theater, escorted out off the premises, being escorted to a police car. If you don't mind these things, there's fuck all they can do to you. Okay, because you ask not that I tell you, but the average person will be shitting themselves at the thought of being put into the back of the police car and taken to the station. Okay, most people will be cacking their pants because they don't know what it's like. Oh fuck, am I going to prison? Oh Jesus, But at the end of the day, if you don't know what you figure, what's the worst that can happen? They're not going to put me in prison for raising my voice. They're not going to give me a criminal record. They're not going to put me in a cell for the night with Big Bubba getting arse raped at the fucking prison. So they're not going to do any of these things. At the very least, you're going to go down the station. You're going to fill in your name and address. You might get a talking to. All right, don't do this again. Oh yeah, very well. What's the worst that could happen? And if you don't mind the inconvenience of being escorted off the premises, spending an hour at the police station, me personally, I don't mind. I honestly don't have anything better to do with my time most of the time. So spending an hour down the station explaining to myself, well, actually, your police officer was out of order. So I was standing up for this kid's rights. Trying to tell him. Doesn't bother me, and if it doesn't bother a lot of people, what's the worst that could happen? An hour or 2 out of your day, and you've stood up for right, and I was going to say stand up for law and order, but you stood up for something that was right, because if you put up with this, this is why we have these fucking problems that we have in the world now, whether it's over the pond or over here. It's because people say, yeah. It's no big deal, everything from gay marriage to the riots. It's like, yeah, or to the influx on foreigners that we have. Well, it's just a small thing. It doesn't really bother me. Why not? Next thing you know, you're up to your ears in mayhem. And it's like that with what I've just been talking about. If you say, "Oh yeah, well the thing is, the policeman knows best." My mum's like that. If I talk to my mum about that thing outside the chicken shop, I'm the asshole because oh yeah, well they're just doing their job. No, they're fucking with people. That's what they're doing. They're using their badge. It's the same thing as your employer fucking with you because he can. I get that all the time. You know, you've got management, you got everybody fucking with you because you're on the agency and you can't do shit about it. The agency are not going to stand up for you. So basically, you're going to bend over and take it, and that's what it's like in out in the real world. You know, you think, oh yeah, well, you know, the policeman knows best, or the employer knows best, or I'm sure the flight assistant knows best. They're doing it for other. Next thing you know, it's mayhem, and you've got no rights, and it's like and what they do is they try and single you out. If you're the only one that's speaking, you're singled out. You know, as the troublemaker, you're easily to deal with. You know, years ago, I can't remember. There was one of these asshole English politicians. He's up on stage and he's talking shite, right? And there was this in the audience. This was going back, must be a good 10, 15 years ago. Some of you may remember it. You got the politician talking his shite on stage, right? And you got this old guy, right? He's way back in the audience and he's doing a slow clap. You know, not round of applause, right? He's doing a slow like this. You know, what happens is you've got this big fucking lump, this rent-a-goon that came up. It wasn't even a proper security guard. He's some thug that the venue hired. You know, because he's probably cheap, and they hired him, and they fucking physically dragged, and this guy was like 70, right? Fucking war veteran, and he's making his voice heard by slow clap. Fuck it, they physically dragged him out of the venue. 2 or 3 of this big fucking fat lump of a security and a couple of his mates. Everybody's standing round, everybody's looking, saying, hey, come on. He's like, right, you want to be next? Right, fucking keep running your mouth and you're next. Okay, yeah. So this old fucker was on his own, right, getting fucking hauled out. That's what he's like. You got 3 security guards. If fucking 20, 30 people says, whoa, get your hands off the old guy. You're not leaving with that old guy. You fucking put him back in his chair and fuck off back to your fucking, lunch break over there, fat boy, And if everybody stood up, that wouldn't happen. And it was all over the news, And this fucking lump, this security goof that they hired, his response to this was the security, the news reporters were coming up to this guy and saying, so don't you think he was a little bit heavy-handed? But the guy was 72 years old. Don't you think he was a bit heavy-handed? He's going, yeah, nice cake, this. He's munching on a fucking cake or a donut. Nice donut, this. Nice pastry. That was his response, because nobody stood up, You see an old guy getting manhandled, right? And nobody fucking stood up and did a fucking thing. And it's because nobody stands up that these things happen. It's because this old guy got dragged out of a politician's speech where, these are public servants. Surely you're allowed to voice your approval or disapproval to a public politician, right? This is why people can get harassed outside of a chicken shop for the contents of their phone to make sure there's no criminal activity going on the behalf of the police. This is why a Chinaman can get his face smashed into the aeroplane seat, getting his teeth knocked out, and then dragged unconscious off a plane. This is why a 7-month-old pregnant woman and her husband and her 3-year-old can get hauled off a plane, because nobody stands up and says, no, this is wrong, not on my watch, This is not happening while I'm fucking sitting here, Sure, I may get hauled off the plane with you, but, I've got a fucking, you got to stand up and say, I've got a fucking conscience. I have to live, And like I say, it's big talk from me, but I've done it, whether it's a supermarket or a place of work, I've done it. I've stood up and says, no, I don't need to explain fuck all to you. And in a supermarket that, this guy, your employee here is in the wrong. The customer, not that the customer's always right. Fuck that. No, the customer has a point, I've actually seen, right? I was in an all-you-can-eat buffet. The place is shut down now because they were fucking... Okay, for those who live in Milton Keynes, by the market, all right, it was I don't know what the fuck it was called, China boat, Chinese moon over the water or something. Anyway, it's a Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet, All right, it was next to the old Sainsbury's, which is now a skating rink, or it was. I'm in there. All right, I'm going to town on my all-you-can-eat buffet. Right, I'm sitting there eating my food, and a guy who's had his lunch. What was it? What was it? He goes up to the counter to pay for his food, right? His all-you-can-eat buffet, and they want to charge him extra for using a credit card. And it was only like, I don't know, 50p, a quid or something. But it wasn't that. It was the principle. And he's saying to him, wait a minute. There's no mention on any of your menus, your posters. No, I came in, I was seated. The woman never said to me, oh, by the way, you've got nothing around to say there is a surcharge for not paying cash, but for paying a debit card. And he's going, listen, you can't just spring charges on people because you feel like it and you can get away with it. You have a price on the poster on your thing, all you can eat for this price, and now you spring extra charges on me for this. And he's going, no, I'm not having it. Like what this fucking guy done, he pressed the emergency button under the counter. 3 minutes later, you've got a couple of security guards come over from the shopping center because they deal with what's known as the shopping centre in Milton Keynes. Over the road, you've got the food centre, which is a separate sort of shopping centre sort of thing. But the security come over, right? And I paid for my thing, and I left, and I went out, and I said to the two security guys, I say, listen, that fucking Chinaman, right? He's trying to rip off customers by adding surcharges without their knowledge. And then as soon as a customer complains, he hits the button, you two guys come over and back his play. That's what's going on. That's what's fucking the big screaming is going on in there. The security guys go, oh, no. We're not taking sides or anything. I said, what the fuck are you doing here then? He hit the button, you come running, and you're here to back the shopkeeper, in this case, the cheating Chinaman, against the customer who's, I mean, it wasn't so much the cost for this guy, right? But it was the fact that they're trying to sneak in surcharges like this, and that's what, and of course I'm outside the shop trying to explain that no, the customer's only complaining that he's been sort of like, trying to be cheated over here, and you fuckers are over here, you come running to back the play of the shopkeeper who's trying to rip off the guy. That's what it's like, and nobody stands up, nobody says a fucking thing, Anyway, what we got here? Okay, people talking. Damien says civil courage, Mark. Indeed, yeah, that's all it is. It's not minding consequences, which is, I don't give a shit because, like I say, if I spend 2 hours down a police station, I honestly don't have anything better to do with my free time. Okay, so it doesn't bother me. Plus, I'm 50 years old. I'm less likely now to be voluntarily fucked with by authority figures than I was 20 years ago, but no, it just takes people to say, well, yeah, fuck it, what's the worst that can happen, right? So I get thrown out, big deal, or face masks aren't to stop you. Okay, Damien says face masks aren't to stop you contracting COVID. They're to reduce the likelihood of transmitting it. Well, let's say, does a paper mask do any good? I mean, we've had that American Surgeon General basically, first of all, he said, yes, they are. Said, oh, no, actually, no, they don't. And now they do that. Well, no, they don't. But now you need to wear 2 masks. I'm not certain that they actually do anything. Well, the thing is, don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously they do anything because if you're to, if you're to cough and sneeze, they are. It's a sort of a barrier, But they're not as good as that people are. Making it. They're a paper mask. How fucking good can they be? Exactly. Thank you. George C. Very good point, Mark. Being prepared to take the so-called punishment gives you power to stand up for what you believe. Exactly right, George C. The willingness to take the punishment, at the end of the day, what's the worst? Okay. They'll throw you out the cinema. They'll throw you out the restaurant. They'll throw you. But the thing is, you get enough people stand up and in one voice say no. A bit like, I want to say a bit like Planet of the Apes, but all the apes in one voice come up and say no. What are you going to do? The fucking what do they call that? The air stewardess. At the moment she's because they don't want to hear it. Because she's saying, well, look, you've got to go. Why we got to go? Well, face masks. Yeah, well, we're not wearing face masks. Well, we are wearing face masks. Policy. It's the rules. I'm just following the rules. You got to go. You got to go. Policy. Nothing to do with me. But if you have 30 people on the plane saying no, 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 leave them alone. They're not doing anything wrong. They're wearing a fucking face mask. It's the kid's not wearing a face mask, and the kid's eating. You've got 30 people standing up all in one voice saying no. Honestly, I mean, you think they're going to throw? You know how many? How long? If you get half that, 15 people on a plane saying no, you're wrong. What are they going to do? Are they going to keep the plane on the tarmac and get security to drag 15 people individually? You know how long that would take? Do you realize how much money that would cost that plane airline to be on the tarmac for what? You got 15 people at a security guard got to come in. He's got to persuade you to leave. You don't want to leave. They grab you, they drag you out into the office, then come back. That's 10 minutes per person times 15 people. What's that? That's an hour and a quarter. And that's 15 people, one at a time. And that's if they manage to do it with your cooperation. If you want to struggle a little bit, it's going to take more than 10 minutes to drag you out. An hour and a quarter to get 15 people off a plane because they start to, give it the old mouth. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to sit there for an hour and a quarter, wasting, costing them money because they got to pay the airlines money for all the time. Or they're going to say, okay, fine, fuck it, we'll just leave. No, if enough people stand up, they will bow down and they will say, okay, well, look, this time we'll let you, fuck off. They will not throw off 15 people out of anywhere. Out of a restaurant, out of a fucking church, out of a plane, because it cost them too much time and money to be fucking with 15 people because they stood up together. And that's what we need. We need people to fucking stand up. Instead of being like, like I say, I say jokingly, oh shit, don't make eye contact. I do that in sort of a piss-taking, jokey way, but that's what it takes people not to do that. And like George C. says, don't be scared of the consequences. What are they going to do? They're not going to throw you in prison. Big lad, Big lad, well said, Mark. Thank you very much, big lad. Big lad, this local business should be absolutely be berated for well-known transaction fees forced on vendors by MasterCard. Yeah, well, no, see, but that's the thing. This person didn't have a problem with a surcharge for paying by debit card or credit card or whatever the hell he's going to pay for anything other than cash, even some kind of card. He didn't have a problem with the paying that. It was the fact that the shop, the restaurant owners kept it quiet until it came to pay. If you have on your, because it has on your poster, all you can eat $7.99, right? Or something like, whatever price, $7.99. You think, oh, $7.99, all you can eat. When you get to go pay, it's like, oh, by the way, you pay by debit card, right? There's a charge for that. Yeah. No, it's the fact that they didn't inform the customer. It's like, it's not the fact that this guy didn't have a gripe about the 50p or pound, whatever it was. He didn't have a gripe that he had to pay it. It was the fact that it was kept secret from him until the time that you never know. He might have said, well, he might have been of the opinion, I'm against paying the fucking banks 50p or a pound to use this card that they gave me. I'm against that policy. So if I know there is a surcharge, I have the option to go around the corner, get some money from the ATM, and pay cash, because on principle I want to pay cash, and I don't want to give an extra 50p to the fucking banks who making hand over fist from us anyway. Out of principle, that might have been one. That might, but he wasn't given the option. It was kept secret until the last very minute. You think, oh, by the way, there's a bit of a charge here, but oh yeah, kept that quiet, didn't you? That was the issue. It was the fact that they kept it from him and tried to dupe him. I don't know whether they try to slip it in, and it's only whether he noticed it that he questioned it. And it's like, oh yeah, well the thing is, well, fucking put it on your poster. Tell everybody when they come in the door. By the way, if you're paying cash, it's $7.99. If you're paying by card, the extra 50p. Which is that okay with it? Great. Okay, let's find you a chair, find you a table. But no, because some people might have a principle. I mean, personally, if I'll probably be the same. I pay by debit card sometimes. I'll pay by cash sometimes. But if you walk in the door and the waitress says to you, oh, by the way, if you're thinking of paying by debit card, there's an extra pound charge or 50, whatever charge there is. I'll be like, okay, fuck them. A 3-minute walk down there to the ATM, or pay extra money to a bank who are making millions on the back. You figure how many debit card and credit card transactions, say per day, all being charged 50p? You think how much fucking money that is? And you might, I would be of the opinion, fucking, I'll walk 10 minutes to an ATM and I'll come back just so the bank don't get my extra bit of money they don't fucking deserve, Just out of principle. I mean, ordinarily, there are occasions where I think, fuck it, I'll pay the extra 50p. I don't want to walk down there 10 minutes and then 10 minutes back just to save 50p. I might do that sometimes, but on principle, there are times when I might be willing to do that, Let's see, Mystic Genie. Can we still pay for a shout-out review? Mark, PayPal working? No. Well, the thing is, for some reason, my PayPal and what's it called? The PayPal thing and the other I don't know. Anyway, PayPal. For some reason, it's shut down. Okay, and I can't get it back up. So, as far as I can tell, people can donate to it if they want, or if they have a, like I've had people like Yorkshire Lass, Shropshire Lass, and other people. They'll send money and say, right, here's some money. Can you go out and buy this particular brand and let me know what you think, and shout my name out as credit for it. I believe you can do that. It's just that it's difficult for. I can't find. I don't get alerted. When this happens. Okay, mind you, I mean, if anybody wants to, by the way, I'll actually make a note. If anybody who does, if anybody wants to do that, but you could do it now, at least then I can see it. You could do whatever amount you want and say, can you go out and buy this brand of crisps? Can you go out and buy this brand of beans? Go out and buy this meat pie. Here's the money. This is what I want you to go buy. I will use that money. I'll go buy it. I'll do a review. I'll give you a shout out like that. Because otherwise, on the PayPal account, I can't. I can't get up that information. It just doesn't give it to me. So if anybody wants to do that now, great. I'll read it. I'll actually make a note so I won't forget. Okay, 15 thumbs up. I need to go to the ladies. All right. So if anybody wants to hit the thumbs up, do that now while I'm away. Anybody want to chuck in a few quid if you want me to buy a specific item? Donate the money. Write down what you want. I'll write your details down and I'll do you a review. I'll be right back. Oh. Right. Oh, he's back. Okay. Okay. Well, it looks like nobody's interested in that. Okay, but that's the way. That's the only way that I can, get the messages because I can't. But yeah, because that's the thing. It shut down. I tried to type in the password and all that lot, and the password, and it wouldn't have it. So fucked if I know. But yeah, this way you're guaranteed that I can retrieve your message and whatnot. Let's see. Yeah, Damien, the mask can be filtered, exhaled air, as long as it covers the mouth and nose. Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, there's also talk on the internet. I mean, how healthy can that be when you're wearing a mask? You're exhaling and then inhaling, exhaling, inhaling. Your carbon monoxide? I think carbon dioxide is from a car. Is it monoxide is what we exhale? Apparently that's not healthy for you. It's like breathing into a bag. It's like it doesn't do you any good. Which is strange. I mean, oh man, I see people in the street. They're just walking down the street wearing the mask. And I think to myself, you fucking idiot. You don't have to wear it in the street. Just wear it when you're around other people. But people are so scared. I don't know. See, I get deemed as a troublemaker because I'm just not scared. I mean, it's I understand that this thing is happening. I don't believe that it's as bad as what they're saying, but I'm just not scared. It's like I'll sometimes make a remark to people. Like I said the other day when I was going into a shop and you got the guy and he's like, "Oh, no, come in." Like this. I say to him, "What do you want? An invite? Just fucking walk, just." I don't know. I'm just not as scared as some people. David Copperfield, Mark, you have a very clear English accent, very easy to understand. Oh. Haven't been told that for a while. Thank you very much. Actually, I have been told by people, mainly Johnnies, they say I've worked with, they say to me, because I pass my YouTube channel card around, and these foreign Johnnies always used to come to me and say, I like watching your channel because of the way you speak. You speak very clearly and you speak good English. Apparently, for a foreigner, that's actually quite good because they can understand it. It's not like, I mean, even I have trouble. If I listen to some Scotsman talking real fast, even I have trouble understanding that. But apparently, the foreigners, and I don't know whether people in general, I'm presuming you're an Englishman by your name, but but people find that I'm able, they find it useful if you're able to talk properly. I mean, there are. I mean, I don't speak like the complete Queen's English. I mean, I pronounce my T's, which I find really frustrating with the Americans. When they don't pronounce the D's. Well, no, they pronounce the D's. They don't pronounce the T's. Like we'll say water, but they'll say water, water, and I'm water, water. Actually, but see, when I listen to the water, I'm thinking, what are you putting a wadder down the rifle barrel? Because I watch a lot of rifle, gun videos and stuff. You're jamming a piece of wadding down the barrel of a wadder? No, they're talking about water. I'm trying to think of another example, but it's really, really when they don't pronounce the T. But they'll pronounce it D instead of T, like I say, water instead of water. I don't know. There was a while when I worked in a job, and it was actually quite difficult because we used to have these radios that would communicate with each other, communicate with security, and which is where I learned it's called a phonetic alphabet. Alpha. Actually, I'll go through it. I haven't done this in 15 years, but Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, India, Lima. What did I say? Hotel, India, Juliet, Kilo, Lima, Mike, November, Oscar, Papa, Quebec, Romeo, Sierra, Tango, Uniform, Whiskey, Yankee, Zulu. Okay. Well, I haven't done that in a lot of years. But when you're talking on the radio, it's very easy to mishear, especially when people don't pronounce their letters. One word can sound like another. I used to live at a place number 13. But when I used to say on the phone, trying to tell a pizza guy your address, I'd be like, number 13, 1-3, then the street name, because 30, to an untrained ear and to anybody who's like, what would 13 could sound like 30, like that. So yeah, I mean, I try to be as clear as I can a lot of the time. I don't, sometimes I'll be lax in my pronunciation, but for the most part, it's just something that comes naturally, actually. It's not something I think about. But when I was a kid, it's funny because people used to say, because kids are fucking assholes anyway, they seem to think because you speak properly and not like a fucking London gutter trash, like a fucking trailer trash, fucking orphan, as long as if you speak properly, then you're a toff, David Copperfield, your accent is easier than Northerners for me. No offense to anybody, though. Yeah, see me, I wouldn't apologize. I wouldn't say no. I'd say fucking. That's the way it is. Anyway, but yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's just something that I've, pretty much always done. It's not something that I'm conscious. Well, I'm conscious of it sometimes. When I first started my videos, I mean, 1,049 videos ago, I was actually conscious because if anybody's seen my very first video, oh man, occasionally a video will, a comment will come up on that. My very first one, I'm sitting in this chair and I'm talking, I'm trying to explain to people in a 5-minute video or something, what it is I'm doing, what it is I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing reviews and be doing some, I sound very proper and unsure of what I'm talking about. I really, it's semi cringeworthy watching it. Considering what I'm like now, because I'll tell you, after a dozen times, I mean, I'm very comfortable talking in front of the camera in the kitchen when I'm cooking. I'm even more comfortable talking on live streams. I'm not self-conscious at all. It didn't take long to do it. I got used to it very quickly, in a dozen videos, But when I used to watch my very first 12 videos, like, oh shit, that is really garbage. I look like even when I look at them now, my first ones, when I used to do reviews in the kitchen, when I had a different camera angle, I had a different camera. It looked like a right goof. Trying to give a review on sausage and mash, a £1 sausage and mash from Asda. Oh God. But I'm happy with it now. Damien says, Damien's talking to 4x4. He's been on a ventilator. Yeah, my two brothers, they caught COVID last month. I say COVID, they caught the Chinese plague. Apparently they lived. But yeah, apparently they caught it. What's even more amazing is my mum actually thought I'd give a shit about them. She told me like I fucking care. She said, "Oh, by the way, your two brothers have got no. I don't fucking care. Am I in the will? Yeah, great. Other than that, I don't fucking want to know." But yeah, they caught it. Carl, who you've seen on one or two videos on my visit to the Kentucky Fried Chicken and whatever, I met him a couple of weeks ago. He was telling me that it fucked him up for about a week. Sort of like cold symptoms or something. I can't remember. I wasn't really listening. It might have been he was aching and something fucking But anyway, he's got over it. He lived. Adam Palfrey. Do you remember when Walker's salt and vinegar flavored packets were blue instead of green? Actually, I don't know. But that's pretty much how I find my flavor crisps, because it's amazing. I don't read the packet. I go in, I know that brown is beef or bacon, blue is cheese and onion, pink is prawn, green is salt and vinegar, and this is brown. This is Walker's anyway, but this is Worcester sauce, which their other regular crisp would be bacon. I am old enough to remember when, back in the old days, when I was a lad, I can't remember what brand it was. Maybe somebody could remind me. You got plain crisps. See, back in those days, when I was a kid, you had like 4 fucking flavors, right? You had plain, salt and vinegar, cheese and onion, and beef. Okay, yeah, that was it. Right? You never had prawn. That was extravagant. That came in the 80s, I think. That was pretty flash when that came out. Prawn cocktail. You never had cheese and chive. You never had Mongolian goat cheese and chutney flavored crisps. That fucking shit. No, you had 4 flavors, and the plain one came with a sachet of salt, which you had a little blue. Yeah, you opened it up. You had to go digging around in there. You pulled out your little blue sachet of salt. You opened it up, sprinkled it in your crisps. You sealed it up. You shook it all around, and then you had salt flavored crisps. You don't have those anymore. They've done away with that. In fact, I don't even know if you can buy plain crisps. Because I remember they used to sell plain without the salt, but that was a different brand. That was Walker's, I think. But there was a brand with a little blue sachet of salt in there. Christ knows why they got rid of that. Because it gives you the best of both worlds, really. Because you've got one customer, he's thinking, well, I like salt flavored crisp, but I don't want plain. You got another guy, he's thinking, well, I like plain, but I don't like salt flavored crisp. You sell the one packet of one flavored crisps to both guys. Best of both worlds. All it costs you is 1 penny sachet of salt, for the difference. Joe Plus, Mark, please note down the channel Hugo Talks. He explains the COVID scam very well. Shit, I've lost you now. Explains the COVID scam very well with evidence. English fellas. Actually, that's the thing. I'll tell you what, though. It's what I do. Sometimes, quite often I'll avoid. I watch a lot of the news, but when it comes to the COVID thing, it's too fucking too depressing watching all this bullshit going on. And the thing is, I'm sick of talking to people in general, in public about it, because I'm the arsehole for not believing the government, for thinking the government have my interest at heart. Oh yeah, hey, yeah. Damien says, Mark, it's at Smith's and KP. I think you're right. Smith's crisps, KP crisps. I remember KP crisps. I think KP make peanuts now, but they make crisps. KP crisps. I remember them. Yeah, little salt sachet. Back in the days when we had 4 flavors and we were lucky to have them. Now, Christ, I mean, you can't. You go to the supermarket, you got like every flavor. I mean, I've had recently Angus. I mean, your Angus beef flavor, not just beef, right? Not just cow flavored crisps. You have to have Angus, Aberdeen Angus flavored. You can't just, you got the Co-op brands. They're not just cheese flavored crisps. They're smoked cheddar cheese, or not just vinegar flavored crisps like in the old days. It's Chardonnay vinegar. They're actually pretty good. Actually, I did a review on those. Fucking Chardonnay. I mean, what the fuck? So you got each of the old 4 flavors, and they've made 6 different variants on those, and they've made some extra ones. You got your, like I say, the prawn cocktail ones. You got the pigs in blanket flavored. Yeah, they did that. I think it's for Christmas special. They did some brand pigs in blankets. Walker's Crisps did a special promotion. For a little while they did like Christmas dinner flavored crisps. I actually did a review on those. I think. If you Mark's crisps, you bring all the list up. Pigs in blankets, Christmas dinner. What was that? Fucking Brussels sprout flavored crisps. All kinds of shit. But spare rib flavored crisps. They were really good. I did a review on those. Yeah, that was Damien. That was Smith's crisps and KP crisps. Joe Plus, English fella, very aware of the go. Oh, the government he puts underneath. Yeah, that's it. I don't trust the government. I don't believe have your best interest. You are there to go to work, keep the economy going by buying shit you don't need and paying taxes to motherfuckers who are going to waste it. That's what your job is as a citizen. You are a tax-making machine. Other than that, you're on your own, Casey, hello to you. Eggs Benedict says free eggy. Gotta. Damien, got to put a bullshit twist on the crisps for the modern connoisseur. Indeed, that's it. You got a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of flavored crisps out there. I think we probably get rid of half of them. You know, but like I say, you see, the thing is, I'm always going in the shops, and I say to the fucking half of them at the time, the guy behind the counter don't know. He's there for a minimum wage. He don't give a shit. He's fucking, you know. I'll say to them, I'll be scanning the chocolate bars. I'll say, right, have they invented any new chocolate bars in the last few weeks or months? And they're, what? I said, look, have they, you know, is there anything new? I mean, there's probably very little they can do to invent a new chocolate bar, other than drag over the American chocolate bars over from over there. But no, they're just not inventing any new stuff. Chocolate bars, the same old shit. I've been eating for years. Crisps, every now and again, they'll bring out a new flavour. I've done reviews on a lot of crisps, and the fucking garbage off a lot of them. You know. Right. Tell you what, has anybody not hit the thumbs up who's, I'm presuming, because of the amount of people that are listening, that you actually like what I'm talking about. If there's any not hit the thumbs up, by all means. I've got 17 thumbs up at the moment. See if we can see if anybody wants to be number 18. Be number 18 and let me know. I'll give you a shout out. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's number 18. Who was that? I'll shout your name out. Dave, going to have to mute for a few minutes. I think I found the sound of me eating. Oh, all right. I didn't realise. I didn't realise the crisps are. Yeah, they're probably getting a bit annoying. Actually, I would imagine. All right. Eggs Benedict. Yeah, Jeff, musician man, if you like the sound of people eating. All right. No, well, I didn't realise it was, actually thinking about it, it probably would pick up quite well on here. All right, that's from Dave. Yeah, all right, I'll stop munching for a while. Have you? All right, Ed, Cody. No, I haven't had the vaccine yet. I've had a couple of texts from the hospital. I'll probably get there eventually and have my jab. I wasn't gonna, but I think I probably might. Mr. Ali, oh yeah, well the Chinese need to be held accountable for what they've done, but they're not. They're not going to be accountable for it. Mystic Genie, my least favorite band. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of bands and music and musicians that I don't like, but I deliberately don't listen to their stuff. So, you know, you know, like I don't know, the people like Lady Gaga and you know, what we used to call faggot boy bands. You know, I don't really go for their music a lot. I normally go for you know, 70s, 80s music. That was when I was growing up. But yeah, actually, I can't even. I mean, if there's anybody who I particularly don't like, I just don't bring up their music. You know, so it's hard to keep track of. I could tell you who my favorite bands are, but the least favorite. I mean, my favorite ones might be, you know, people. I like everything from ZZ Top all the way to Clearwater Revival, or Creedence Clearwater Revival. You know, Duran Duran, perhaps. I'm not a big fan, but I mean, I'll definitely listen to their music. You know, David Bowie. You know. Oh, Dior Bunny, Mark, do you shop at Home Bargains? Do I shop at Home Bargains? Is that like, I think that's like B&Q. The thing is, I haven't been to any of those shops in a long time. B&Q, Home Base, any of those type of warehouses. I haven't been there for a long time, but I've been there in the past. I bought some stuff, but yeah, not for many years. Mr. Alio, thumbs up. Thank you very much. Yep. Oh, I'm up to 21 thumbs up now. Thank you for Mr. Alio. What's this? Ryan Evans, has Peter B gone to bed? I don't know. He might be still there, or he might be keeping law and order. I don't know. But it's handy when he's around because he keeps everybody in line while I'm busy ranting. I don't understand. Crongle McDonald. Crongle McDongy Quiverberry. Grundle says, Grundle scratching, mate. What a vibe. I don't know what that means. That's the thing. People write stuff, and I have no idea. You got to remember, I'm 50 years old. I don't understand that. If young people, I don't know. I'm guessing you're a young person who's when they talk their lingo. Yeah, Mystic Genie, CCR, nice. Creedence Clearwater Revival, indeed. They don't make quality music like that anymore. Mr. Ali O says, Mark, if you get the vaccine, be cautious of the strong side effects that come the same day or 14 days later. Oh, shit. Yeah, because apparently you need more than one jab. See, that's the thing. See, that's what I mean. That's what I don't understand. You go in, get the jab. Okay, great. You got to go back, I don't know, a week later or whatever the fuck, get a second jab. Are you still required to wear the face mask? Because if you are, why get the jab? If you have to wear the mask, for me, there's no point getting the jab. Why get the jab if we're going to wear the mask still? You get the jab, so you don't have to wear the mask. Oh, my knees. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know, but no, I haven't. I might get the jab. I don't know. Eggs Benedict says, Mark, shout out for fellow YouTuber Insane Brit Eats Food channel. Actually, if you is it? I'm not sure exactly which part is the actual. See, if you put in quotation marks, quotation Insane Brit Eats Food channel, end quotation. I know that's. But anyway, yeah. Anybody's interested in a food channel? Insane Brit Eats Food. Perhaps that's end quotation channel. Anyways, for what that's worth. Oh, okay. Eggs Benedict says, well, he retracted the message just before I got to read it. I think it was Insane Brit Eats. See, that's the thing. Without quotation, Insane Brit Eats is the name of the food channel. I don't know. Oh, there you go. I was writing it again. The name of the channel, for fucking right, Insane Brit Eats is the name of the channel. Everybody, check that out if you fancy. If you want to see what he's up to, say Mark Remarks sent you. You're welcome, Eggs Benedict. There you go. Oh, Insane Brit Eats. There you go. So, yeah, check that out. Say Mark's Remarks sent you, and it'll be interesting. I'm not sure. Insane Brit Eats. If I remember, I'll check that out. Because it's actually not often I actually watch. There were a few. cookery channels that I used to follow religiously. But when I did my, but when I had a you know, when I it all went to shit when I had that when I did the blackface videos on my live streams. You know, it was sad that I got some negative feedback from them. So I figured, brightness, you know, I'm just gonna be dealing with that. But yeah, you know, so now that there's very few. You know, I'll watch somebody's video occasionally if I'm thinking, no, I just wonder what, you know, something a thumbnail look interesting. But I don't really. But yeah, I might give it if I remember. I'll give that a go. Or if you, ex Benedict, if you write that on one of my videos, my latest video, put that in the comments, and that'll remind me to give it a watch. Victoria Big Wan, can you please review Dragon Soups? Please, is that how they spell it though? Dragon, because I know when you're marketing food products, they always do wacky spellings. Yeah, listen, donate what the cost is. Tell me what you want me to review. I'll go out and buy it. I'll do a review, and I'll shout your name out as the person who's funding that particular video. You know, if you want me to look at Dragon Soups, let me know where you can get it as well, because I don't recognise the brand. Chronicle McDongle Quiverberry. Back is aching. Yeah, I get that on my knees. You know, if I sit down for too long, my knees get wicked hurting. Victoria, can you? Victoria Big, can you do a Victoria Big One? Can you do a house tour? I really want to see the living room. Well, particularly the cardboard box in front of the telly. Are you talking about the telly back there? Well, it's behind the couch. I've got a big telly here. I've got a smaller telly in front here. Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I think you're talking about when I'm doing the videos in the kitchen. The video is facing me and looking over my shoulder at the box by the window with the television in the foreground, box in the background by the window. That might be what. Yeah, I think that might be what you mean. Oh, there you go. Oh, it says underneath. I can see your telly in your kitchen lids. Yeah, perhaps, you know, if I straighten the place out a bit. You know, I'm thinking. Thing is, it occurs to me sometimes that doing this live stream here, you're looking at a white wall here. I'm thinking if I can be bothered, I might one day rearrange this thing so at least there might be a bookshelf, or got a bookshelf over there, got videos over there, maybe a different scenery, other than a blank wall. Of course, if there's anybody who knows somebody who has a business, if you want, listen, I'm always saying, but nobody takes me up on it. If you want to send me some free shit, all right, and then a poster, I'll put the poster behind me, or I'll put the poster in the kitchen while I'm doing my cookery video, so it'll be over my shoulder. I've actually offered this to that homeless charity jobby down the, homeless housing down the road there. I've told them if they have a T-shirt that I can wear and wear it while I'm on video or something, I'm willing to do that. Free, of course. Thank you, Eggs Benedict. You've made a comment on one of the videos, which is flashed up here because I'm doing a live stream. It tells me every time when people flash up Insane Eats was the food channel. Thank you very much. What I'll do, I'll X that off now so I can get back to the and what I'll do when I finish this, I'll be able to read through all the comments on the videos, and that'll remind me. Thank you for that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to contact me through Anybody here in Milton Keynes or any, I'm willing to wear a T-shirt. I'm willing to put a poster up just for some, for some things. I can't believe that nobody's taken me up on it. Actually, I will. So I'll haul myself out for some free stuff. Just send me a box of free crap and promote your business. Yeah. Oh, Victoria Big Wan, how do I donate? Well, at the bottom of the screen here, you'll see. Actually, I'm presuming this is the way. I'm not sure. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see a dollar sign. I believe. Oh, in actual fact, we've had some people today. I don't know if they're still around. Maybe they can throw in how they done it. But I think you click onto that dollar sign, which on my screen is at the bottom of the page on the right hand side. Yeah, I believe you click on that. It'll ask you how, what do you want to donate or whatever, and you can add a little message saying this is what I want you to do with it. I believe that's how it's done. David Copperfield, people need to stop pushing their opinion on vaccine. Yeah, I had a discussion with a relative of mine the other day telling me that I should get it, being that my age. I got a free flu jab a couple of months ago. All the people who get the vaccine. Joe Plus, all the people who got the vax are still in the same boat as you and me, and the ones who did it to go on a holiday. Oh my god! Got a big bow and a 5K threat if they try to jet or what? I don't know what. Anyway, but yeah, it should be up to the individuals, I think. But Joanna B is in the house. Hello to you. Victoria Big Wan, love that shirt on you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, actually, I like this shirt. It's soft. I think I paid $3.50 down at the charity shop for it. Most shirts down there cost about $3.50, depending on which charity shop you go to. But yeah, you normally you get a shirt for $3.50. But yeah, I actually like this one. I like it. It's blue. It's checkered. It's soft. Yeah, it's very one of my favorite ones. Let's see. Joe Plus says paracetamols make the pain 400 times worse, to the point where I become so numb. Yeah, probably not paracetamol would be the best thing. Maybe get something stronger for the docs, perhaps. Ed, Mark, I used to be in the Merchant Navy and had vaccinations for tropical diseases, which screwed with my brain chemistry, but only for about 2 weeks. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I've had I mean, I'm not against having injections. It's just that I'm not certain that. I mean, this is going to do me any good. If you have any injection, still leaves you the same potential to catch the plague as not having it. Why take? I don't know. I just don't understand why take it. Mr. Ali Mark, I knew somebody who got really ill just from the first jab. He had intense headaches and fever. Frankie Hand. Hi, Mark. Do you remember me? Can you remind me where I might remember Frankie Hand? I'm trying to think whether it's. Are you talking about it from the comments section or Frankie Hand? Anyway, yeah, remind me. Joe Plus, stay away from the vaccine if you can. Joanna B, how am I? Not too bad, thank you. Yeah, the eyes are going a bit blurry because I've had loads of vodka today, or this evening. Oh, lots of people putting in emojis. Yeah, I never put emojis up when I'm, mainly because I'm not certain how to do it. I think at the bottom of it, see at the bottom of my page here, in the right corner, there's the dollar symbol for people to donate, and so next to that, I think is a smiley face. I think that might be the emoji thing, but actually, Ed's Benedict, what is the address to send you things? Well, that's the thing. I used to have a PO box, and people were great. People were sending all kinds of stuff, from T-shirts to their drawings of Old Boggy, or Papa Lazoo, or their picture of me with a blackface, and I put them on the kitchen wall there. And all kinds of stuff. They go abroad and they'll come back with different flavored crisps and biscuits and stuff, from abroad, and have me review those. I got a can of was it Old Sweat? Or it was cold. It was sweat anyway, dry sweat, wet sweat, sweet, fucking sweat. That was from somebody from China, I think. That was interesting. Lots of other little chocolate bars and stuff. But I don't have it at the moment. But if I do, one day, I'll get the PO box back. See, that's the thing for the PO box. I've got to get a bus from here all the way to the what they call that, the PO box shop, right? Which is fine. I could do that 2-3 times a week, whatever. But I thought, well, wait a minute. To be cheaper and more quicker, I actually went to my local shop. In fact, I might go again. I might try them, because I went into my local Indian corner shop and I said, look, the thing is, I've got a proposition for you. First of all, I asked if, are you the manager? And she's like, what they all fucking do is like, oh yeah, I'm the manager. As soon as you start talking to them, they think, well, the manager's away on holiday at the minute. Well, you just told me you were the manager. So I went to I approached the woman. I said, look, I'm interested, right, in what I need is an address which I can have letters and parcels sent to, namely here. Okay, and I'll come here 2-3 times a week and I'll pick them up. And how about I pay you a certain amount of money for the privilege of you accepting my parcels and mail? That way I don't have to get on the bus, spend a fucking hour, getting down to the parcel thing, finding out there's no parcels, or picking up what's there and then coming back. Do that 2-3 times a week. So, her reaction was, well, we don't do that here. And I'm like, well, I know that. You're a fucking convenience store. But actually, in actual fact, they actually do it. If you, like, what was it, Hermes? If you have a parcel that you want sent via courier, you can actually take it to the shop and they will, they'll wait for the Hermes guy to come along and he'll collect them all so that you can drop that off. Or, I don't know, Amazon stuff. I think you can have that delivered there, perhaps. So they do it. So I might approach them again, because I haven't seen that woman in there for ages, or one of the pretends of their management figures. So I'll go in there and what I'll do, if I can go in there and say, look, how about I give you I don't know, because the thing is, a PO box is like £25 a month. I think it was 25. I'm sure it was £25 a month. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because 75 for 3 months. That's what I did last time. So what I'll do, I'll go in now and say, look, how about a tenner a month, or or thereabouts, and they might go for it. If not, there are other options, actually. There are a few other shops. If they don't want to do it, I could try a few other shops, and if that happens, then I can give you people the address, and you can send your postcard. Remember the when I had the post PO box before? I was asking people to cut a square out of a meat pie box or an apple pie box or a Jaffa cake box or whatever, cereal box, dog food box. Anyway, get the idea. Anyway, you make a postcard out of that, put a stamp in the corner, write your message, and it works because I've done it. I've actually sent postcards in the past made out of a cereal box, and people sent them to me. And I would hold up the card to the thing, so they would recognize it. And I'd read their message. Thanks very much, Mark. You're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and love your show, and you're the greatest. Okay, and then they would get a shout out. They'd see their cardboard postcard on the thing, and people used to send all kinds of stuff about fridge magnets, t-shirts. I still wear those t-shirts, of course. I've still got them. Food items for anyway. So if I manage to do that, I'll have a chat with them because because the thing is, it's absolutely no bother on their behalf. All they got to do is look at Mark's remarks, in the box, and I'll go there twice a week to pick them up. The shop owner or manager, he's looking at £10 a month, cash in hand for fuck all. Because the staff are the ones who are getting the parcels in. All he got to do is just collect his tenner every month. So if they got any sense, they'll give it a go. So what I'll go around and I'll try and talk them into it. And if they go for it, I'll pass on the address and So there you go. So that would answer Joanna B's question as well. You should do a PO box again. Yeah, that's the thing. But the thing is that the PO box shop is such a long way away, and when but if I manage to get one of the local shops to get involved, then it'll be a lot easier. Lizzie Complex. Did you see Krispy Kreme offering daily donuts for getting vaxxed and celebrity endorsements going on? Why do they need to do all this? Very suspect. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't heard that, but it sounds a bit suspect. Why the Krispy Kreme company? I tell you what, though, I went in there a couple of weeks ago and I bought some Krispy Kreme donuts. Ugh, I swear to Christ. One is pretty much all I can. They're so sweet. You feel sick after a couple of those. They're just too sweet for me. But if anybody's working at Krispy Kremes, or if you have a relative, you have somebody in the house who works for Krispy Kremes, and they work there. Especially the McDonald's, the Milton Keynes one at the shopping centre. If you know anybody who works there that would be having a chat with the management, by all means, I'm willing to, do some promotion. But I'll tell you what I would do. I mean, because the thing is, like I say, I can eat one donut, maybe two. After two donuts, I'm thinking, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. But if I'm willing to wear a Krispy Kreme t-shirt, put a poster behind me advertising it while I'm doing my thing in the kitchen, and I'll do it for some free donuts, and I'll give them away to those, the homeless depot down around the corner, Because I tell you what, though, there's been years ago. I tell you what, when I was in a bit of a bad way, work-wise, I was out of work for a while. I can't remember. I got fired for something. Oh, that was it. Yeah, it was when I got fired from Argos, motherfuckers. I was out of work for ages, right? And I tell you what, you don't know what fucking hardship. When you're when a loaf of bread is a fucking luxury for you, that's how bad that was. It's like, you're counting up how much money you got, and you're thinking, okay, well, look, I can get a bag of chips or a loaf of bread. Okay, loaf of bread, I can eat a loaf of bread, it'll take 2 days. I can eat a bag of chips, it'll take 15 minutes. So when you're counting, when you're making a decision between a loaf of bread and a bag of chips, that's what that was like. So anyway, anyway, never mind. Oh dear, I'm gonna get fucking. So the point is, I know that what it's like. When you're sort of like, you're a bit down on your luck, and where a chocolate bar literally was a luxury. When you got your, like, you got your choice of a chocolate bar or loaf of bread. So what I'm saying is, it might be a nice thing. I mean, if anybody wants to promote their Krusty Kreme donuts, I'll give them to those, because I mean, the thing is, when you're eating a diet, I mean, because I went in there today, had a look at their kitchen facilities, because possibly they'll let me do some. I don't know. I haven't asked him yet, but maybe I want to try and get them to let me do some cooking in there. She opened up the cupboards, and a lot of it was beans, pasta. You know, those, like spaghetti hoops, shit like that. Nothing too exciting. I don't know what was in the fridge or freezer, but the canned goods were pretty much, lots of beans. So I know from experience that a piece of chocolate is a really boost. It's a really, really bit of a boost. So yeah, I can do that with. With the Krusty Kremes, or anybody else who has any, who does food products, possibly in the way of snacks. I'll promote it. I want a free T-shirt. That's all I want. And I'll, the products. I'll do a review of the products. I'll give them away to the, if anybody knows anybody, then put the word out for the, so. Oh, I'm waffling on. It's the vodka. Okay, but what I'm saying is, yeah, I mean, I don't have the contacts. I mean, I've gone into shops and nobody wants to fucking me to promote their shit. I don't know whether it's just me, but if you know somebody who's a manager or as an employee of a shop who does stuff, who's willing to, I'll promote it and I'll give the stuff away after I've sampled it and done a review. Or maybe if I get that PO box address from the shops, maybe you can just send it. Anyway, you get the idea. Oh, Mad Maz 49 is in the house. Mark, you are a legend. Thank you very much. I wish others, speak their mind. Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I do like the free. Well, not freedom. Even I don't have the freedom now as a YouTube provider, because I mean, at any second they could take the video down, even in mid sentence, or take it down anyway. But yeah, YouTube is not the place to be for free speech. But yeah, I'm of the opinion. I tell everybody when I hand out my cards, if I get in a conversation with somebody on the bus or at places of work, and I hand them my card, I say, look, what I do, I've done 1,000+ video, 900 of them are cookery related. I do a lot of live reviews. If you're of the faint heart and you're a snowflake and you're one of these soy boys, I tell them stay away from the live streams, because you just get upset. Stick with the cookery. And but yeah, because I like being able to express myself, Joanna B, home address. No, you're talking about to have the PO box. Well, that would just, I would have all kinds of fucking psychos banging on my door if I gave out my home address. Although people have managed to work out, I'm not sure why they're so interested, but being that certain things that I've said regarding the location in Milton Keynes that I'm at, I mean, it's no big secret I live in Milton Keynes. Yeah, I think certain people have managed to figure out roughly where I'm. They know I live near a co-op, But yeah, that's about as close as I want people. I mean, the thing is, I don't mind. I mean, I've actually met people at bus stops, and that I've said, "Oh, you're," they recognise me, right? Not very often. It happens once in a blue moon. Um, or the guy earlier in the co-op. What was it? I've got the name down here. Rob Peasoff. I'm not sure that's his real name, but he says he works in the shop and he recognised me. But the thing, sometimes I wish they would just say, oh, Marks, hello, I don't mind chatting to people. I may look like a miserable bastard sometimes, but I'm quite willing to chat, with always willing to meet a fan. But I've had people write saying, "Oh, I saw you on the bus last week. Why didn't you say hello?" It's just, I don't mind. Like I say, I mean, I look like a miserable shit half the time, but I'm perfectly willing to have a chat. You know, Andy Smith still going strong, very impressive. Thank you all. According to my timer, it's been 3 hours 10 minutes. There you go. Got a bunch of people watching. Anybody, if you like what's going on, actually, I might go back to my subjects here. Actually, I'm thinking I've covered them all. Oh, actually, there is one subject. Okay, we've got George C. Bread versus chips was me as a student. Indeed, I mean, as fun as it sounds, let me tell you, it is depressing as all fucking hell. I shit you not. Because I was out of work for months when I got fired from Argos. I can't remember how many months, a fucking long time, not just a few months, but a long time. And it was so bad. But it really was. It was like, because when you eat food, and like in a normal day, you don't think about it at all. You think, I could do with a bag of crisps. I'll go down the shop and buy a bag of crisps. Oh, I'll have a marathon bar or Snickers bar while I'm there, and I might go around the shop and get a bag of chips. When you don't have the money for those things, the simple things like a chocolate bar is a fucking honestly, the word luxury is underestimating it. Under appreciation how good it is, and then when you're in a position where you're where it literally is a bar of chocolate or a loaf of bread, that's that's what it was like for me for a while when I got canned from Argos. And it was I mean, the thing I tell you, I had a jar which I used to collect all my copper coins, which I still collect my coins now because it's sort of a throwback from those days, from those uh, poverty-stricken days, I guess. I do like to have a lot of loose change on hand. I used to have a jar, and I think I had a total of like £27 in. Turns out to be about 27 quid in copper coins, ones and twos. You imagine how fucking heavy that is, right? In a big jar. What I used to do was, because I had the option of spending £1.80 on a bus to get to the city centre. Because I had all these, I had as much as I could carry, right? Because I had, in a bag. Because you remember, I mean, it's all right putting putting a load of coins in a big bag inside of in the side of a carry bag and walking down the street. That's fine. But when you got to, you got to walk 2 miles to the shopping centre, you've got to weigh up. Think, well, I've got to reduce the amount I've got to carry because I've got to carry it a long distance. So I had the option of spending £1.80, which I didn't have, on the bus in order to get to the city centre to put these coins into the coin machine to redeem it for real money, which I could use to go into the shop and buy this fucking luxury loaf of bread, or walk the 2 miles carrying a big bag of shrapnel. So you can imagine, because it's so heavy, I can't take I can only carry a certain amount of coins, because otherwise it's just too much to carry over 2 miles. So you got to do that several times. You think, right, well, I spent all that money on trying to eat. A few days later, you got to go out and do the same thing again. Anyway, that's what that was like. Can't remember how I got on that rant, but yeah, that's what it. But that's what that was. It was so. When you've got to dive into your coin jar, your copper coin jar, you've hit rock bottom. Yeah. So now I'll tell you that's why. When I'm working, I sort of like, I try, I save a lot. I save as much as I can. I have, all my loose coins. I have them there because it's like a bit like people. You heard of people in the when they talk about the Great Depression. Like during the war. I've actually heard this from a relative of mine, my uncle Paul, who died years ago. He was actually making fun of a relative of his wife, and saying how they went round and they got offered some slices of bread and some sandwiches or some bread, and the relative, this old relative, cut the bread. It was like, well, it wasn't sliced bread. He was like, you had to cut these. But he was saying, he was taking the mick. It's like, hey, you could hold the light, the slice of bread up to the light and see through it. What it is because somebody has gone through such a hardship that those habits never leave you. And that really bad time that I had before, I'm always conscious of that. I'm always conscious about, I need, I try and have a stash of canned goods in the, because I've done prepping videos. I've done a bunch of those, what to prep for a shit hits the fan scenario. About the laundry powder, the washing up liquid, the what the fuck else? Those £1 stickers you can buy. You can get from the co-op. You can get from Tesco. I think you can get from Iceland. You put the pound in the machine. You lick it, you put it in the book, and you save them up. And when you need to, you take your book into the thing, and you count it. Right, okay, 15 stamps. That's worth £15. You can redeem that. I'm conscious about keeping stashes of those, for when for when something really fucking bad happens, like you're out of work for a while, or I'll bust my foot up again. You just don't. When you go through something like that, it's actually quite hard to get out of that mindset. I think if I won the lottery, I would probably do the same thing. Although I'd have a bigger stash of £1 tokens in a book, stamps. I would have a bigger stash of canned goods. In the other room there, like in the prepping videos, I haven't done all the canned goods, but I've got shelves of it in the spare room there, and because I'm always conscious if something really bad happens, at least I'm not going to fucking die, which I was I was close to before. Let me tell you, I make a joke of it, kind of put it in lighthearted, but it was no joke. Looking back at it, fucking depressing. Let me tell you. So because and that's the thing I was talking about, the homeless shelter over there, giving them the donuts or giving them chocolate bars, or I was things like this, because eating food, which because people are quite generous. I saw in their cupboard other people have been donating the same stuff I did. The razor blades, toothpastes, socks and blankets and shit. Right. A lot of people are doing it, but it seems to be the same thing. The food wise, it seems to be the beans, it seems to be the pasta, it seems to be the rice. So and it can get bland. So when I went to the shops today, I took them a bunch of stuff. I got this big jar of pickled onions, purely for somebody who likes a sharp flavor. I got 6 or 8 different flavors of sauces. I got ketchup, I got brown sauce, I got a load of curry sauces, stuff you sprinkle, and sweet chili sauce and curry sauces, mustard. I got a load of that chili powder. Powdered curry peppers, into a curry, into a powder you can put into your food. Mainly to jazz up some, some stuff, because food can get boring if you eat the same stuff So that's why that they'll appreciate. I've actually seen on prison documentaries, where, when you got prisoners talking about their life in prison, the one thing that they talk about, the food is so bad that what they do, they try and have, like they get their relatives and say, look, if when you send me a message, try and put a couple of put in a packet of brown sauce, or put in a packet of ketchup, or mustard in, send a couple of those, just so we can have those to, because just to add some flavor to an otherwise dull meal. Mark, it says, Mark, how do you fill in your time? Well, in my free time, I go down the allotment. I'm trying to get that organised. I've got to get that ready for the chickens. Other than the channel, which takes up a bit of time, but it doesn't take up all my time. But at the moment, I'm spending as much time as I possibly can when it's not pissing down or snowing. At the allotment. But the trouble is, you do a few hours of digging, or somebody loaned me one of those rotavators, which which I might do. If I might do a video of me using that rotavator, that might be interesting for some people. You do a few hours of that, rotavating or digging the trench with a shovel. Your back hurts. You got to have the next day off. At least not working on the allotment. So that's how I do. Andy Smith, have you ever seen anyone wandering around knowing you live in the area? No. Aside from somebody says they work in they work in a co-op and they've seen me. Other people have taken it upon themselves to try and triangulate from my description of local landmarks and shops and bus routes and whatever else. I've not had people actually come up to me in the street near where I live as such. Although there are people who I will, like I don't know, the homeless shelter. I know, they've in conversation. Oh, do you live here? I said, yeah, I just live around the corner. But yeah, I mean, given the choice, I prefer people not to know where I live as such. Mainly because, I mean, the majority of people, I'm sure, are law-abiding, sane individuals. But the reason why I don't have my home address as my PO box is because, I prefer people not to be banging on my door. If they want to have a chat while I'm out in the street, if they see me in the co-op, if they see me on the bus or at the bus stop or at the shopping centre, or that's fine. But I don't want people banging on my door. Oh dear. Vitali IURCU Polish beer. Normally I stick to the same brands unless I buy something foreign specifically to do a review. Otherwise, I'll just stick with the same brands. Vitali says, "What's your opinion on vegan food?" In fact, somebody on the allotment's a vegan. She's told me a couple of times she doesn't. She doesn't eat eggs, which is because the subject because she I'm getting chicken shortly. Personally, I don't understand it. I mean, figure fuck it. Eat what you want, right? But the thing is, I tried to explain to her, about she wasn't interested, but I tried to explain because she was happy for the whole chicken fucking race to be extinct, because that would solve the battery system, the mistreatment they get in the battery system, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So my answer to that was, well, why don't you fix the battery system? Don't eliminate a species of animal just to cure the battery system. Fix the battery system. And we can all do that by not buying battery eggs. If everybody stopped buying battery eggs, there'd be no market for battery eggs, did I say that right? If everybody buys free range, there'll be no market for battery eggs, and then battery eggs will die out and be no more. It's only because there's money in it. That's why they do it. And yeah, I mean, she was happy for for all the chickens to go extinct. And that would cure the battery system. But I was trying to explain to her that, well, no, that would you know, you need it. I don't know. It's if you need the free range chickens in order to make the free range eggs and people to buy the free range eggs. If nobody buys the free range eggs, there's no money for the farmer, and he will no longer have the free range chickens. Right? So that's how the chickens get fucking the way of the dodo. So I try to point it out, it's the same principle as the forests. Everybody's crapping and moaning, all these tree huggers, that, oh yeah, trees, we need the trees, we need the trees. You cut down the trees, it's no fucking good. We need the trees, right? And they're stopping lorries and all that, you know, jumping in roads. And but they don't understand, you know, if we stop using furniture made of wood, there's no reason for fields to be filled up with trees. There's no reason for it. Who the fuck's going to own land with 1,000 trees on it? Well, that's not worth any money. They may as well cut them all down and have, you know, grow carrots on there. It's the same with cows. If you don't eat meat, there's no reason for a farmer to breed cows. If there's no money in cow meat, they're not going to fucking grow cow meat. They're going to get rid of them, and the field's going to be used for potatoes and carrots and whatever else. So the species will go, well, it'll go near extinct. I'm not sure the cows will go, you know, totally extinct. But I mean, if there's no money, if people are not eating the meat, there's no reason for the cow. And the cow is going to go the way of the dodo. Same as the trees. If we don't use the trees furniture and firewood and matches and books, right? If we don't do any of those, there's no reason to grow trees. Get rid of them, put something that you can make money on it. And that's the same with the chickens. If we don't eat the eggs, there's no reason for a farmer to have chickens on his farm. He'll get rid of them. He'll grow pumpkins. So if you want the chickens to, you know, if you want the chickens to, you know, have a good life and stay, you know, you need to eat them. You know, they need a reason to be around, is what I'm trying to get at, in a way that I can barely explain with this amount of vodka in me. So, but yeah, so as far as vegan food, fuck it is. It's all weird to me. Eat what you want, but you know, bear in mind, if you don't eat the meat, there's no reason to have cows around. You know, because cows are only born to feed the meat market. If there's no meat market, there's going to be no cows. Vitali, what plants have you planted this year? Well, I haven't planted any plants yet, because what I've done, I've cultivated, I've dug up the whole allotment, pretty much, or most of the allotment. Half the allotment, well, I've got the hugelkultur in a patch with the wooden chicken hut on it. Half the allotment is caged, where the chickens are going to be running around during the day. In the sunshine and all the rest of it. That's gonna have a few pots in there. It's gonna have lots of greenery growing wild until they eat it all. Once they eat it all, there's gonna be hell trying to grow stuff in there. And then the other half of the allotment is gonna be full of pots and raised beds and everything else. So I've got to get it all done before I can start growing shit in there. Yeah, I can't grow anything at the moment because I'm still working on the allotment. George C. Apparently, our body gets fed up with the same bland food as a defense mechanism so that we get variety for our vitamins. Yeah, actually, I do believe that. Yeah, because I mean, it's amazing it is amazing how fast you can get sick of the same food. Because I mean, like when I worked at Burger King, I swear to Christ, it took like 4 days before I couldn't, I could barely face the food. And after that, you're actually mixing different different burger variations into one burger, because you can't face the same burgers. It sounds good at front, eating all the. When I first moved into this place 27 years ago, uh, man, I was on poverty wages, right? And I was eating those super noodles. Have you ever seen that back in the day? They used to have the advert where you got the guy with a fork spinning on his finger, and the other guy's got a boat that's spinning. The idea was it was super noodles. He's twist your fork in there, and you get a big fork full of noodles. Bachelor's super noodles, I think they were called. That's what I lived on. Bachelor's super noodles with beans. Bachelor's super noodles with SpaghettiOs. Bachelor's super noodles with rice. Bachelor super noodles with sausages thrown in. Bachelor super noodles with fish fingers. Oh man, it's fucking nice. It is. So you're gonna try and make varieties. Oh shit. It's hard, you eat the same thing every day, and you do get sick of it. Which is why you got to put some sauce in there. When I do my stir fries and curries, you see, I've done 12 different stir fries. I've done 12 different curries. Each one's slightly different than the one before. They may have some similarities. I mean, a stir fry with chicken in it. It was, what can you do? You got to put chicken and stir fry, right? But I do chicken and bacon, chicken and pork chop, chicken and sausages. I don't know. You make variations on the same dish to make it different. Because you're right there, George C. I don't know. It's something. Yeah, I think could be right. As a body mechanism, because your body, says, "Oh Jesus, I can't face it," because it's trying to get you to take other stuff. Other vitamins from other places. Jessica Vaughan, do you consider moving house? Do you mean, have you considered? Well, yeah, I mean, I have considered it. I was going to go for it around the corner there, but the fuckers changed their mind. Waited until I got my solicitor to do all the paperwork, and then told me they weren't going to sell the fucking house. So I was lumbered with a couple of £100 bill for a solicitor, motherfuckers. But the trouble is, I could sell this place, buy a house literally round the corner with a garden and everything, and it'd be great. But I would have to add, 80, 60, 80, £100,000. So I'd have to take out that as a mortgage, which I'm not really thrilled about. I mean, I spent 25 years paying off this place, which I'm mortgage free for about 2 years now. And at my time, I'm 50 now. I'm coming up on 51 in 2 months, minus a day. I don't want to take out another somewhere between 60 and £100,000 mortgage. I don't want to do that, So now I'm pretty much stuck here, Oh, Peter B's back. How's that? I'm not sure he's talking to somebody. Hope Morrison, go do the shave thing. It'll be funny. I promise. I don't know what that means. I've done a couple of shave videos. I use the hair trimmers without the guard. I do that mostly because I don't like the smooth shaved face. I'll shave it and it leaves about 1 or 2 days worth of growth on there. I don't like the smooth. But I've also done another video of me doing a wet shave, which has been very popular actually. It's got about 4,000 viewings on that. Me doing a wet shave with a cheap single blade razor. which is fine actually, because I find that a single blade is perfectly fine for me because it doesn't. If I, like now they're up to like 6 blades on fucking stupid shit, like that's too close. Single blade's fine with me. Anyway, anybody want to see that? Mark's a Mark shave. Midas, hello to you. Midas gets a shout out. Hope Morrison, what do you think about China? Well, I think they've got a lot to answer for. Which the trouble is, no country is going to make them accountable for what they've done. Hope Morrison says, I don't know what to think. Well, the thing is, I mean, you got to make your own decision, about what you think about what they've done. If you want to go the politically correct way, then figure, well, let them be. But if you want, if you see the world the way it is, kind of like what I try to do, apply blame where it is. They've got a lot of a lot to answer for, which they're not going to be made accountable. Jessica Vaughan, hello, Mark. What do you see about eating foreign food? I think it's what do I think about eating foreign food? Personally, I've got no. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's difficult to find food that isn't foreign. I mean, if you look at anything, all right, we may have a lot of things that are made here. Pizza is not an English food. Fucking potato is not even an English food, really. It got imported here. Fish, like cod, tuna, all those fish that they're caught in other countries, or other oceans. Pasta is not a traditional English food. All these foods. We're our world contribution to world cuisine is fried egg and chips. I mean, really, you've got the Italians that come up with pasta. You got the Chinks that come up with rice and vegetables. I don't know what the Americans come up with, fucking hamburger or some shit. I don't know, but you've got the pizza. We've come up with a fried egg and chips. That's what we've contributed to world cuisine. Pretty much all the food that you eat, is either originated from other countries or it's imported from other countries. So I mean, it's pretty difficult to eat. Look at the fruit we have. I mean, how much fruit do we grow in this country? I mean, pears, apples, everything else, oranges, lemons, pineapples, grapefruits, they all come from the hotter countries. Spain, we don't have any citrus fruits. In fact, if we let us, we'd all die of scurvy, because we don't grow any fucking fruits here, or Andy Smith, heard about people moving house. Well, yeah. I mean, there are additional costs. I mean, you've got to, if you go through an estate agent, you've got to pay them to find you a new place. You've got to pay them to find a guy to move into your place. You need a lawyer to handle. Well, you don't need a lawyer. It's less of a pain in the ass if you hire a lawyer to handle all the paperwork. But you don't need to go through that, right? You can do it all yourself. You can find somebody to buy your house. You can find a house to buy. You can deal with the paperwork, but people pay other companies to do it. But yeah, you got all these hidden costs. You got costs of removal vans. To put all your stuff in a van and then hump it down to some other house. Ed, carry on getting those YouTube donations. You can live in any house you want to. Indeed. You know. In actual fact, yeah. I mean, what I do, I mean, if any with the donations that anybody puts through, if anybody does it in appreciation of the content that I'm churning out, great. Thank you very much. I'll put that towards cookery stuff. I'll put that towards the feed for the chickens and make videos of that to entertain you. If people want to, if people want to do that and write a specific item that they want me to go out and buy, that's also fine. I can do that, and you'll get a shout out for your, for the contribution. But yeah, but mostly, and also I do that with the advertisement money. If everybody wants to help the channel without doing anything like donating, and it's just completely optional. You can do that without doing anything, which I always say is, please allow at least some of the ads to play. I mean, it all helps. I mean, they pay fuck all. The truth is, in fact, I seem to be the only one that will actually admit that. I've gone through countless videos trying to find out how much do YouTubers earn on YouTube, and everybody. Oh yeah, a lot of people. When you see it on the title, how much do I made on YouTube? The headline. You watch their video and they don't tell you shit. But they honestly don't pay it. But whatever I do get is plowed back in the channel. I don't make a living on it or nothing. But yeah, it goes back into making kitchen videos or cookery videos. Feeding the chickens, which would be good. Electro says, "Is Shropshire Lass your girlfriend?" No. Shropshire Lass contributed to a video last week. It was, what was it? It was applesauce. I think it was bacon and cheese. It did a sandwich. It was a couple of videos ago. Yeah, Andy Smith says, I think the most popular video on my channel is the McDonald's reheating the Big Macs. It is not my proudest videos. I do what people comment all the time that I waffle on, which is true. But they don't seem to understand. You can actually pause the video or skip the video. You can fast forward the video. You can watch the video once, absorb the information that's relevant to you, and then apply it to your own fucking Big Macs. But people write to me all the time saying, "Oh, Jesus, just get to the point." Which, yeah, I was waffling on, but I've done 3 videos. I went out and bought 3 Big Mac and chips, and what I did, I did one video in the one reheating the Big Mac in the oven, one in the microwave, and one in the air fryer. They are actually constantly, because it actually tells me on the options I have access to options to see what videos are doing well. Every single week or month or whatever, it's always the McDonald's reheat is the most popular video for the last Christ knows how long. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, I'm guaranteed 1,200, sometimes slightly more clicks on that McDonald's reheat Big Mac video. Yeah, it's the #1 for I can't remember how long. It's I think it's on because somebody wrote, and I found this out. It's true. Somebody wrote to me and told me it was on Google. If you go onto Google and type in "reheat Big Mac and chips," you'll see my video come up. So that's probably why it's #1 of all my videos. But yeah, every month, at least 1,200 videos on that one video. So that was Andy Smith. Yeah. Hope Morrison hates chips. Well, actually, you need to be more specific. What is it about chips? Is it potato that you don't like? Is it the fact that they're cooked in oil that you don't like? Is it the crispiness you don't like, or in other chips, the thicker chips, the softness of chip shop chips? You go to McDonald's chips. They're sort of like, firm and crunchy. No. Anyway. Andy Smith, I don't think English food deserves its bad worldwide reputation. Well, the thing is, I mean, do we have a good reputation for exporting culture? Uh, I mean, you look at the food that we have available to us here. I mean, you got, like I say, you got everything from pasta to pizzas, burgers, hot dogs, all kinds of food. Like if you go over to China, are they eating roast beef and Yorkshire pudding? We're eating their food. We import that over like crazy. Are the Chinese eating that? Are the Americans eating fish and chips? I think they do, but I mean, I don't think it's as popular as it is over here. Are they eating, like I say, Yorkshire pudding and roast beef and Yorkshire pudding? Yeah. Are foreign countries eating traditional, like what English people might, eat? We seem to eat, every other country's food, but do we actually export? I mean, there are the Americans. I think they do like certain English foods. I can't remember what. I saw a program on it. It was something stupid like fucking Scotch eggs or some stupid shit like this. That they seem to like that. If they drink tea, they like to drink the English Earl Grey and stuff. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna read through a few more comments. It's 3 3/4 hours. Nobody's hit the thumbs up for a while. Has anybody not hit the thumbs up already? I'll see if we can get that a little bit higher. I've got 25 people watching, which is good, at least for this channel. I've got 70. Oh, hello! Wow, and I jumped straight up to 20. Thank you very much to those 3 people. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna munch on the rest of these French fries. I don't want to do it on camera because it causes too much annoyance. But yeah, if you want to hit the thumbs up, I'll do a few more shouts. Let's see if I can get a few names in. Okay, what we got? Mark Smith, good to go and catch the live stream. Yeah, you missed a bunch. We could always watch it on the rerun. Actually, what I'll do just before I go, I'll do because I'll give you the details. Where's he gone? Of that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I mean, if you happen to be in Milton Keynes, especially in the Stantonbury area, on the road called Crosslands, there's a homeless charity opened up. They got like 9 little porta cabin things that they house people up for a short time, trying to get them on their feet. They got the main building where they do cooking. They got shower facilities and whatnot. I've been taking in a whole bunch of stuff, shower gel, shaving equipment, toothbrushes, all kinds of stuff, and some food items with mainly sauces and some food items. If you fancy doing that, doing a good thing for people who in a hard way. Crosslands, which is on Stantonbury. Crosslands being the name of the road on Stantonbury. You can do that. Please go. Say that Mark's suggested that you go in there if you fancy. I mean, it doesn't make any difference in the grand scheme of things, but it'd be nice to if you mention the name. Yeah, they're in need of stuff. You can do that. If I manage to get a postal address from them, I'll give that out on my next cookery video. Then you can always post if you wanted to post stuff if you're out of the area. You can always say it's saying Marks and Marks asked me to send this. You can do a good thing for people who are and they're trying to get on their feet. The idea of this place is they house them for a while. and until they get on their feet, they try and go for job interviews and whatnot. If you're in the area and you have some spare, clothing that you've outgrown, it can be something as casual as this, or something if it's suitable for a job interview. Something plain like a job interview, different size. It doesn't matter what size it is, as long as it's in good condition. Of course, but different sizes, because they probably cater for every waist size, and different size people, different leg lengths and everything else. You can do that, or you can take in food items, dried food, canned food, this kind of thing. Or you can just pop in and say, look, what do you need? What is it that I can get you that you can need? You can bugger off over to Poundland and like that, whatever you like. You just be helping some people out, helping them get back on their feet. And that's what I'm doing. And what I'm going to try and do is talk them into let me use their kitchen, so I can do maybe a video promote, because I've told them I'm willing to promote what they're doing. So if they let me film in their kitchen, I can possibly do some stuff, a stir fry, a meat pie, casseroles, and whatever the hell else. Get on film, and then you can see it, and maybe I don't know, maybe get a couple of people to chat. I don't know, we sort something out. Okay, so that's that. Like I say, let me know in the comments on the videos, cookery videos, and I'll, if anybody's interested, I'll try and get a postal address and give you more info. And if you want me to video in their kitchen, I've got to get the permission yet, but I'm sure they're pretty helpful in there. But they might let me do it if there's a big, interest in it. All right, so look, it's been now looking at 3 hours, coming up on 3 hours 51 minutes. You've got about 10 seconds to hit the thumbs up. Thank you everybody for watching. Crosslands on Stantonbury, if you want to do that. I'm going to try and get a PO box ready. If I manage to get the PO box in the local shops, by all means you could send some stuff to that. If it's if it's light enough, if it's whatever, I don't know if there's anything probably won't worth sending for the post, but anyway, but then you can send your postcards to me, you can get your shout outs, you can, if you want me to review any items, chocolate bars that you get over from abroad, wherever you go, I can do that. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on all at once. There's a few. Yep, thank you, Valerie, Electro, Andy Smith, Peter B. Thank you very much, keeping law and order as usual. We got Sam King's got a message deleted. Hope Morrison, thank you very much for sticking by. A really bored artist. I didn't get to your comments, but thank you for it anyway. I really need to eat something now. Hope Morrison, Andy Smith. I'm going back through the Vanessa Vaughan, Toby Lerone. Oh, you had a message deleted for some reason. Ryan Evans, Midas, Eggs Benedict, George C. Thank you very much. Another regular. Let's see, Maurice. Anyway, Joanna B, Ed, and somebody called Ed. Mad Maz, thank you. Yeah, Lizzie Complex. Seaweed. Was he going? Seaweed Reacts. Yep, a lot of people joining in today. Thank you for a quick few shout outs before I go. Thank you for joining, and I'm off because I've got to eat, and my back is aching sitting down for so long. So thank you very much. And don't forget, send some comments on the food video things of your thoughts, and about the charity business, and if you want to take part, that's all good. And thank you very much. Good night.